Chat. Chat. Hi, chat. Chat, I got something on my mind today, chat. Chat, shitty chat. What I have on my mind is that I accidentally placed the chat behind the image. Behind that image there. Now I don't know how to get it on top. There we go. Now, there we go. There we go. Okay. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, hello there. What's going on? How's it hanging? Am I coming through clearly? Everything sound good? Good, yes. Hello. Guys, listen here. Kong Bonanza. Funny little game coming up. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, you know. I've been seeing a ton of conversation around this game here this past week or so since that Nintendo Direct. And I just want to get out in front of this thing, okay? I just want to get out here and I'm gonna come out with my chest, my whole chest. I'm going out on a limb. I'm going out on that farthest limb right there. And I'm gonna disagree with everybody who's saying this game is a prequel. That's right. This game is not a prequel. There ain't no way in heck. I ain't buying that narrative for a second. This is some serious business here, but so you might be wondering. You might be wondering, like, what could this game possibly be then, if not a prequel? I don't know. Okay, I'm not locked in on any one answer yet, but I do have a couple of different ideas. And I wanted to get out here today and discuss those ideas. I thought about making this into a video, you know. I thought that could be like a fun thing, but I thought it would be more fun to get out here and talk directly to you guys. Talk directly to the chat here today. Because, you know, then we can actually have a real discussion about it. Because I don't really have my foot firmly planted into one camp or another as far as, like, what this game is, you know? Except for the fact that it's not a prequel. I wanna... That's the what's that? That's the bed that I will die on, okay? That's the hill I'm willing to die on, alright? It's not a prequel. And we'll get into the details here. We'll get into it. But how you guys doing today? You guys, how you guys feeling? Pretty nice Tuesday, isn't it? I've been chilling. Last week was crazy. I did a whole bunch of work. It was a busy week. Now I'm here talking more. Yapping some more about some more goddamn Donkey Kong. So, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. I guess I'll just go ahead and get on into it here. Actually, just a sec before I even do that. I got some super chat goals today. Like 10 of the super chat things or whatever. So, if you guys have anything in particular that you want me to read, if you have any theories that you're dying for me to, you know, read that you have, feel free to drop those and make sure I don't miss them. Because I'll read out the super chats as they come in. But I guess we'll just... I'll take it from the top of my list here. Where is my list? What did I do with it? Where you hiding? Where you hiding, little fella? I think I put it in a... I opened it up on a different tab, and then I lost it. Oh, okay. Here we go. So let me just start off by repeating myself again. It's not a prequel! Here's why, okay? Alright, listen. There's a couple of different pieces of evidence here to suggest that no, this game is not a prequel. But I think the biggest of all comes from Cranky Kong. I mean, we have some direct dialogue from him acknowledging that this game, it takes place after the arcade. There's a lot of people thinking it's sort of like a prequel / reboot or something like that tells the story of like Donkey Kong and Pauline, you know, maybe just throws the old continuity out the window. that's something I should acknowledge too. That, you know, I see a lot of people talking about the continuity of Mario and Donkey Kong and how Nintendo, they're not ones to get too caught up in all that. Oh, Wisdom Eel, $3 super chat. What if the bananas are the real enemy? You know, I never really thought of it like that. The bananas are evil. Thank you for the super chat. My thing is, okay, I agree with the sentiment that Nintendo is not usually one to lean very much into, like, continuity and story and just all that kind of stuff when it comes to, well, really just any of their games. I mean, even Zelda has very loose story and canon. There are certain things that are, like, what is it? I guess solidified, you know, within games like Zelda. Like the Triforce and Link and Zelda and Ganon and their dynamic. And that's how I feel about Donkey Kong as well, you know? I feel like 40 years of established history, you know? Mario, Donkey Kong, and Pauline. Like, those aren't really just things that I can imagine Nintendo throwing away, you know, after all this time. Especially after they just reintroduced Pauline in Super Mario Odyssey. Now, I know that was like 8 years ago, but they brought Pauline back to life. You know what I mean? And I just don't see them... And like, Pauline in Mario Odyssey directly references the arcade games. I mean, she has dialogue. The whole thing of New Donk City is one giant reference to the arcade games. You know? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So... But okay, so let me get back on track here. So Cranky Kong directly references that in well, he references specifically Mario. How, you know, a rival in overalls, that kind of thing, as a direct callback to the arcade games. Just throwing it out there. Okay? On top of that, New Donk City already exists in Donkey Kong Bonanza. That's a thing. We have crates with NDC labeled on them. New Donk City. That right there. New Donk City is a thing. Which is literally named after the events of Donkey Kong, the arcade game. New Donk City. It's got a city with all the things in it. I know that there are people who are thinking that, like, well, maybe it's because Pauline heads back to the city and she names names everything in the city after the Donkey Kong characters, but nah. I don't think so. I ain't buying that. I just, you know, okay, so what am I buying? What kind of Pauline angle am I huffing here? You know? Well, I think there are two very likely scenarios. The one that I feel is probably the most likely of the bunch, chat, I'm gonna bring it up, chat, is one that I also feel is kind of, it's a little bit of a convoluted explanation for what could possibly be going on here. But at the same time, like, I think that there's more evidence towards this theory than not. And it's basically that Pauline is, like, de-aged with some sort of amnesia or memory loss. I know, it's kind of a weird explanation, but hear me out. Okay? You look at Pauline in this game, and clearly, you know, she's wearing clothes, very baggy. They're pretty big on her. That's kind of a little, I don't know, it's a little suspicious whenever we're used to Pauline being big woman, but then she is tiny girl in this game. Hey, super chat, I don't know what that that is, but I appreciate it. Just to clarify your premise, I agree that it's not a prequel to Donkey Kong. But you also don't think it's a prequel to Odyssey. No, I don't. I do not. I don't think it's a prequel to Odyssey. Because of the fact that we also have the new Donk crates in Donkey Kong Bonanza. To me, it's just like, it wouldn't make sense for those to be there. I feel like that's kind of like a bit contradictory, you know. Zennyfinity, $5 super chat. Found this channel the other day from your original channel. Thanks for the laughs and good times. Hope you're having a great day. Hey, thanks. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. $10 super chat. Bobzilla, thank you. Thank you, my friend. Just wanted to say thanks for replying to me the other day. A friend told me he played the new DK demo, and he said that the supposed K. Rool laugh where all the Void Co's lined up is more prevalent. Interesting. That's definitely interesting. Very curious to see what's going on with K. Rool in this game. Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, super chat. So, back to what I was saying. Yeah, her clothes are too baggy. I don't know. Just, it gives off the vibe that, like, maybe she's been shrunken down. On the other hand, too, she talks towards the end of the direct about having dreams of growing up to become a singer. Like, well, it's kind of unusual that she'd be talking about her dreams of growing up to become a singer. You know, like, if she is de-aged, excuse me, because she, you know, the Pauline that we know is the mayor of New Donk City. That's what she does. I mean, she sings, too. That's definitely true. So, de-aged with amnesia. Yeah, it's kind of... My thing is, and like I keep bringing this up, it just feels a little convoluted to me, you know? It feels convoluted as an explanation, but at the same time, like, there's more evidence for it than not, I feel like, you know? Ed Powers, $5 super chat, thank you. I think that the Pauline in this game is Pauline Jr. It would make sense for her to team up with DK, who is actually DK Jr. Well, thank you for bringing that up, because I'm definitely going to be getting into that here shortly as well. And thank you for the super chat. Something else I wanted to bring up in regards to the de-aged with amnesia angle is that she's... Pauline is also still wearing, like, a rock, like, bracelet thing and, like, a rock hair tie. So, I don't know, maybe the effects of being odd rock are still present for her. Like, maybe that is still, like, keeping her in this tiny form that we see her. I don't know. Just an idea that I'm throwing out there because I don't really know what the heck else is going on. Isn't it kind of crazy, though, that we can sit here and discuss and have wacky theories like this about a new Donkey Kong game of all things? It doesn't feel like something that we would normally have. There's so many more story implications to this game than we usually get from, like, any kind of Nintendo game, but let alone something that's Mario adjacent, like Donkey Kong, you know? It's just kind of wild. Well, anyway, so I do want to move on to I'm sorry, what was the name? Ed Powers, his super chat there, because that's actually the theory that I posted a little bit about it on Twitter. It's something that I thought a lot about because the de-aged with amnesia angle, again, I repeat myself, it just feels kind of convoluted to me. I'm like, I wanted to think of, like, an answer, something that would make for more of, like, a quick and easy explanation. Something that's just like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You know? And the main thing I could think of was just that, like, the easiest, the simplest explanation they could go with. That honestly, like, I would love this if they decided to go this direction, because I just think it has such wholesome implications, okay? Is that this isn't Pauline. This isn't the Pauline that we know, but actually Pauline Jr. Okay? Alright? That's the theory that I want to see become real. Not that I'm like totally locked in on it or anything. I don't know what's ultimately going to happen with this game. But hear me out, okay? So we have Pauline, who would be like adjacent to Cranky, right? Because Cranky Kong is the arcade Donkey Kong, kidnapped her. You get the idea. Then we have Pauline Jr., who would be adjacent to our current Donkey Kong, you know, who we can infer is probably Donkey Kong Jr. grown up. Oh, and the Invader, $10 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Hey, we're already halfway there on the super chats. That's awesome. What if Pauline is the missing piece of K. Rool, akin to that one Clayface episode of Batman? Joking, of course, since it's a silly. I wish I knew which episode you were talking about. I don't know enough about the Batman show, but thank you for the super chat anyway. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, Invader. Felix Espinal with $5 super chat. Thank you. Hey, I just realized that there's singing in this game. You know what that means? DKC cartoon revival. Hey, you know, I'm just saying, if we get a big Benjamin Campbell King K. Rool song number at the end of this game, I'm gonna be all for it. Okay. Andrew Potts, $5. Thank you. What if Voidco went back in time to kidnap the child version of Pauline? Time travel has been a thing in Yoshi's New Island. Yep, that's another one I'm gonna get to. Let me, I'm gonna read a little bit more about what I have on this Pauline Jr. theory. So yeah, like I said, you know, we kind of have like the father-daughter dynamic. Maybe that's not entirely what I'm trying to say. Like I said, okay, Cranky is to Pauline as Pauline Jr., if that's what we go with, is to Donkey Kong Jr. And I think it could be really cool as, you know, as sort of like a story angle for this game, that, you know, here we have Donkey Kong, the son of Cranky Kong, rescuing Pauline as opposed to kidnapping her, like Cranky Kong did in the original game. And almost sort of like redeeming the Kong lineage in a way, you know, like repairing that sort of relationship between like Pauline and the Kongs, you know what I mean? I just think that sounds really wholesome and sweet and just like has potential for some really great emotional payoff at the end of this game, you know what I mean? And it does seem like they're kind of leaning into sort of more of like an emotional kind of angle with this game on top of that, which I really love. I think it's just really cool. I mean, we got the music, we got the songs and the lyrics, and they sound very like they're emotionally charged, man. This game's gonna make me cry. I'm gonna cry at a big monkey game. Also, I didn't miss that Kingly Peasant $10 super chat. Thank you. Theory: DK has always been able to transform. He was born as a farmer's donkey, hence the name Donkey Kong, and later transformed into a monkey while visiting Big Ape City. Also, you rock. Well, thank you, Kingly Peasant. Interesting theory. Old MacDonald had a donk. E-I-E-I-O. And on this farm, the donk was an ostrich. E-I-E-I-O. Very interesting. I'm it's fun. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. Well, let me just throw that out there to you guys. I mean, between the idea of her being de-aged with amnesia and being Pauline Jr., I mean, which one are you guys thinking? How you feeling? How you feeling as far as that? You know. Although, I mean, hey, I see some of you guys out there already, though, saying, too, that, like, no, I think it is a prequel. And that's interesting, too, you know. Let me hear you a bit more about that, too, if you guys are thinking. Generic Rust, thank you for the super chat, my friend. I hate people just saying Nintendo doesn't care about continuity when this game seems to care a little bit more about the lore and continuity, especially if K. Rool's back. See, that's kind of what I'm saying, too. Like, it's... Yes, it is true that Nintendo doesn't put high emphasis on, like, storytelling in a lot of their games. There's no doubt about that. But there are certain things that are just totally set in stone. You know what I mean? And I feel like arcade Donkey Kong, that's not even just the origin point for Donkey Kong, it's also the origin point for Mario, that they very specifically reference and bring up. Like, even in the most recent 3D Mario game, they kind of acknowledge that as like that is ground zero right there. You know what I'm saying? I find it really, I just find it really hard to believe that Nintendo would go and tamper with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just saying. The Invader, $10 super chat. Could you imagine Cranky being annoyed that DK is helping what is a human child of the ex-GF of the person who used to beat his ass constantly? I can imagine Cranky Kong not being too thrilled about that, and then kind of begrudgingly at the end of the game just kind of like shrugging it off or something, you know? I could see something like that. Wouldn't say they never cared about story outright, they just feel the gameplay should take higher priority. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm saying too. That, like, yes, there is story to these games, like a lot of the games, but, like, you know, it's not generally their primary focus. But, like, that's the thing too. That's another thing about this game in particular, that this game is taking a huge emphasis on, like, actually telling a story. It looks like there's something compelling going on here. This is the first time ever that I can even think that Nintendo has totally just pulled this massive marketing red herring on us. You know what I mean? Also, we hit the super chat goal. Thanks, guys. We're already there in the first 25 minutes. So you guys rock. Thank you so much. What was I saying? Yeah. The marketing red herring, that's what I'm saying. With, you know, like, they led us to believe Odd Rock was going to be a big part of it. Jason Wingo, thank you for the $2 super chat. Odd Rock! They wanted us to believe Odd Rock was going to be DK's main companion for this game. You know what I'm saying? And, like, obviously, they fucked up. They fucked up and accidentally leaked that Pauline was going to be in the game. So we kind of knew what was coming. But that was supposed to be a massive reveal. That was supposed to be a crazy reveal. And, so, I don't know, like, just based on what we have seen of this game, it does seem like there's stakes here. Pauline's talking about having a dream to Donkey Kong about growing up and becoming a singer. There's, like, voice acting. It's going to be a consistent thing throughout the game from the looks of it with Pauline. There's some stuff going on here. To say that Nintendo doesn't care about story at all would be you gotta be closing your eyes, covering your ears, and going la 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 to not see what's right in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Okay, KB, $2 super chat. Caring about the lore of Mario and DK is always valid. Yes, absolutely, I agree. Again, it's nothing to get, like, super caught up in, because it's not always the most important element, but I don't buy for a second that this game is going to be a prequel. If anybody believes it's a prequel, and you can convince me otherwise, I mean, hey, I would love to hear the arguments for it. Iblis Azazel, $5 super chat, thank you. I actually have a theory. I'd love to show you that I posted on your Pauline tweet under Rodin the Hedgehog. Feel free to type it out here, my friend. I'll try to read it if I can. The Invader, $10. Can we talk about how deep that red herring was? Odd Rock was shown off in levels that we now know are meant to have Pauline, meaning that they put his in-game model in later levels just to hide it. That's what I'm saying, man. Dude, this whole game is like trying to pull fast ones on us, you know? And, like, not to go down the Rool rabbit hole here, you know, like, I'm trying to have a conversation here about Pauline, but I gotta bring this up, you know, to insist that because they didn't show us Rool and the Kremlings in the last Direct, that they're not in this game. Like, come on. You can't be that naive, right? Do you really think that Pauline is gonna be the only major, like, red herring that they're gonna have for us? No. I'm telling you guys, for those of you who have seen my last video, you know, something's going on with Void Kong and Void Co. I totally think they are just a complete stand-in. They're fakes and phonies, and something's gonna happen. It would make sense for the Kremlings to take on those shoes, fill that void after they're like wiped out, you know. But yeah, no. There's some funky stuff going on with this game. Let me see what else is going on. Your thoughts on this? Maurice LaMarche as Grumpy Kong. You know, that would be really funny. I could see it. Thanks for the super chat. Joe Bean actually just got to try out the game today at a demo kiosk. The game, it feels great, but other than that, I think the final game has way more. I'm with you. I was actually just about ready to drive an hour away today to a Target that I thought had a demo kiosk so I could play it and make a video for you guys, because none of my local stores, Walmart or Target, have the demo kiosk available. So, but I called that Target and they told me, nope, we don't got it. I was like, shit. Okay, well, I guess I'm not going to be able to play it ahead of time, but that's okay. We're just a couple weeks away at this point. So, back to the Dong. The Donkey Kong. And Pauline. Yeah, so, again, to recap so far, de-aged with amnesia. I feel like that's probably the most likely theory. Okay, she's got the baggy clothes, has dreams of growing up to become a singer. Like, it doesn't make sense for her to be having those dreams if she was just de-aged. It sounds kind of convoluted. Maybe there's something more at play here than that, okay? There is another angle that I guess you could probably run adjacent to this. Another theory that could run adjacent to this, and I'll get to that in a minute. But Pauline Jr. is the one that I would love to see be the real case, because then you get to see Donkey Kong reunite Pauline Jr. with the Pauline who we know from Mario Odyssey and, you know, just, I don't know, the Mario spin-offs and all that kind of stuff. And I just think that there's potential for a really wholesome reunion there. And to see this little character, I don't know, gain confidence in herself and her singing abilities, and I don't know, go back to New Donk City where she just feels like, yeah, she's gonna do it, and then she gets on Broadway or some shit. I don't know. Somebody said, I mean, she still has the hairband and wristband both behind her, not remembering and being de-aged. Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying too. That you know, like, maybe those are contributing to her even, like, actually still remaining in this form, you know, as a child, because the rock bracelet and hair tie are keeping her, I don't know, contained in this form that she's in. I don't know. Iblis Azazel, another $10 super chat, thank you. I think Jumpman and Lady are going to be Pauline's parents, and the Mario vs. DK series is the history Mario, DK, and Pauline share. Because when they fight in Mario vs. Donkey Kong, they're still friends by the end. Hey, that's definitely an interesting possibility. Because, okay, yeah. So that's something I actually was interested in kind of bringing up alongside the prequel angle that a lot of people are behind, but I'm totally not. Is that, like, you know, if this was a prequel, and, like, this Donkey Kong is supposed to be the same Donkey Kong that we have in the arcade game or something like that, isn't it kind of weird? Isn't it kind of weird? Like, this is gonna get weird. This is about to be a weird part of this whole conversation. Because Donkey Kong kidnaps Pauline, but in this game, she's 13, so what, she grows up and then Donkey Kong lusts over her and kidnaps her after being with her in this game? Like, that would make Donkey Kong a groomer. That's creepy. We're not going that way, okay? We're not doing that. That's Diddy's thing. I'm okay, alright, that was, I'm sorry, Diddy Kong, I'm sorry, that's not, we're not, that's messed up. I'm just saying, like, that whole thing, no, nah, Sorry, chat. Sorry, chat. Okay. Hang on a second. There's some more chats that came in I gotta read. Thank you for the super chat, Iblis. Nino Nerd, $2. Your Diddy video was funny. Praise Lanky Kong. Thanks. Thank you. Yep, there we go with Diddy again. Cyber Guy 64. K. Rool had Pauline plucked from the timeline, so Cranky never abducted her to become the gaming superstar that started it all. That's another one we're gonna get into, my friend. I appreciate you. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Land Clipper, wow, $20 super chat. Thank you so much. I have this theory that Void Kong is using the Bonandium to control both Poppy Kong and Grumpy Kong because they both have the same gold eye color, while Void Kong has red eyes, which might be why he's after the Bonandium root. Yeah, that's certainly a very interesting angle as well, you know. And that was something that I noticed with my DK crew that we had talked about, that, like, yeah, Grumpy and Poppy, they have the same eye colors as DK with the Bonandium transformation. It's kind of crazy. Does make you wonder if something's going on there with those two. I'm kind of leaning into the idea with Grumpy and Poppy that I feel like they probably are real Kongs. I have a hunch. I just have a hunch about it. And that they've actually just kind of been manipulated into this whole situation with Void Kong. Void Kong is the one who really stands out here. He's the oddball. He doesn't even really match the other two very well, you know? And then, of course, like, his name doesn't match the naming scheme and all that kind of stuff either. Something's totally off about him. Whether he's actually King K. Rool or not, like, look, I'm not even 100% in on that theory, but I am just saying, though, that he's off. He is not who he presents himself as, and I think we're going to find that out in this game. The Invader. Thank you, my friend. I'm starting to think the Pauline leak was on purpose, to have people go, okay, no K. Rool, but Pauline is here, so that's awesome, so they can be cheeky, hiding the sexy fat gator man. I don't know if it was intentional, but I definitely do think they want us guessing. Like, I kind of just get the feeling that they want us guessing. I mean, they showed Crocs and Croc imagery very clearly. In the trailers, the gameplay, like, all that stuff. And I think there's definitely something going on there, you know. Especially, like, in the last Direct. I mean, like, they showed this before, but they drew attention to it a little bit in the most recent Direct. Grumpy Kong and his giant, they called it a corporate soldier. It looks very Kremling-like, you know, very Gator-like. But then on top of that, he has, like, a literal crown of liquid gold on the top of it. Like, come on. You can't tell me that isn't a very deliberate reference to King K. Rool and the Kremlings. It is. It has to be, you know? I don't buy for a second that they just did that and were like, oops, we accidentally referenced K. Rool with this crocodile-looking thing and a gold crown. That doesn't, nah, not buying it. Sonic Master, $2 super chat, thank you, my friend. Okay, so, I got a little sidetracked here. We can talk more about K. Rool and the Kremlings here in just a minute, but I do want to mention, another angle here that I have seen being thrown around for Pauline that I think is relatively plausible, if not a little kooky, but hey, you know, it wouldn't be that out of place for you know, a Mario / Donkey Kong type game. We'll bring it up here. Actually, let me read this super chat first. Thank you, the Invader. You're so generous today. I appreciate you, my friend. Do you think K. Rool was at one of Denny's parties and got some candy on his Kong? No comment. No comment there. Okay, so let me throw this out there. This actually might be the only other angle that I wanted to really bring up and discuss. And that's time travel! Time travel is a thing in Mario games. You guys remember that one Yoshi's Island game and Bowser just comes the fuck out of nowhere through time and space? Suddenly, through the time and space, Bowser appears, and then there he is. It's like, you know, somehow Emperor Palpatine returned, you know, that kind of deal. No time travel in DK, though. Yes, you're right. However, we have the Void Crew, the Void Co. Now, okay, I will say, though, that we don't really have any other elements of time travel necessarily in this game, though, and that's the only reason I'm not necessarily 100% behind that idea. Here, let me, real quick. Joe Bean, $5. Thank you, my friend. Wait a minute. The Crocoid boss and enemies are shown wielding hammers similar to clubbers. Yeah, that's very true as well. And I'll get more into that in just a little bit. We can talk about K. Rool then, because fuck it, you know. That's been the draw to this channel here lately, is talking about K. Rool and coping for the big guy. But yeah. Iblis Azizil, thank you. Once again, I could see this is Pauline Jr. if Bowser Jr. didn't exist. I don't see any world where they just de-aged her or time travel. See, yeah, that's the thing too. And like every time I bring up Pauline Jr., the question I'm immediately slapped with is, well, then who's the dad? It's like, well, do we really need an answer for that? Bowser Jr.'s the thing. You know, there was an interview where Miyamoto was asked, and actually, Miyamoto is actually Bowser Jr.'s mom. So, I'm just that's a real thing. That's a real thing. So, you know, maybe Miyamoto is Pauline Jr.'s dad. You know. Babies are born in the Mario world with storks. Yeah. Hey, you know, there we go. Yeah, biological sex isn't canon. They're just delivered by storks. See, that's all we need. That could literally just be it. It doesn't need to be explained by mommy, daddy, fun sex time, you know? So, I don't know. The time travel thing, I'm not, like, totally bought into, but, like, you know, it could be an angle that would make sense just given the information that we have so far. Kid Pauline, is in present day. We have references to the arcade era, so I don't believe it's a prequel. Doesn't make any sense to me. And she has dreams of growing up to become a singer. Okay? So, I don't know. Time travel, sure, could work. I don't necessarily think that is the way that they're gonna go with it. I don't know if I'm buying into that. I don't know if I'm picking up what they're putting down on that one. I think I'm definitely leaning much more towards the de-aged with amnesia angle. Even though it sounds kind of convoluted, but you know, it makes sense given the baggy clothes. Or Pauline Jr., but I would, between the two of them, I want the Pauline Jr. one to be the one. I feel like that has more wholesome implications. Holy shit. Okay, super chats are rolling in. Let me read these. General Fire, $2. What about dimensional travel? I mean, hey, it's a real possibility, too. It's something along those lines. While I don't necessarily think is likely, it's not impossible. We have Void Co., we don't really know what all kinds of powers they possess yet. We've seen them do a couple of different things. We don't necessarily know a whole lot about Void Kong himself and what he's capable of. So maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he's capable of something like that. Thank you, Super Chat. Thank you, my friend. Felix Espinal, I believe Void Kong is his own villain. K. Rool might appear, like during side missions. P.S. Todd Habercorn as Void and Kathleen Delaney as Poppy. I don't know any of those actors, but maybe they're good fits. Thank you. Yeah, I will. Let me read this other one, then I'll respond to that. Okay. Jackson Smith, $2. Patrick Starr, the video game is the best game ever. I'm glad you think so. I'm glad you enjoy it, Jackson. And then another, from what is shown, Pauline is connected to Voidco. Yeah, no, definitely. There's definitely some sort of relevance there between Voidco and Pauline. Don't know what it is yet, but they're definitely linked. Voidco references Pauline, or talks to Pauline as though, you know, they've been linked somehow, and questions like why she ran away and that kind of thing, so... Okay, so Void Kong is his own villain and K. Rool might appear. Yes, okay, so... Yeah, that's the thing. I don't really know how K. Rool may truly be involved in all this. It's a big question mark on the whole thing, which is also kind of cool. I mean, I'm really hoping K. Rool's going to be in this game. You know, we're here and we're coping. I feel like there's a good chance he will be. Just don't know how. But... and, you know, the more I have thought about it, too, the more I am on board with Voidco being his own... Void Kong being his own thing, his own separate entity, enemy, villain that stands alongside K. Rool. Like, it's a, you know, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool idea, and I do like the Voidco crew. They don't necessarily need to be... directly, like, they don't need to be K. Rool and the Kremlins verbatim, you know? Okay. Ooh, getting some more chats. Iblis, again, thank you. But they'd call her, like, Bowser Jr. Also, baggy clothes on growing teenage girl isn't that far-fetched. Yeah, that is true. And, you know, like, the reason that I'm suggesting that, like, she could be Pauline Jr., and they just haven't told us that yet. You know, like maybe that's like the final big twist of the game when she reunites with her mom, Pauline, you know, is that, oh, then we find out. Okay, she's actually Pauline Jr. Okay, now it all comes together. Now it all makes sense. You know, I don't know. I think that would be a really fun, wholesome little twist at the end of the game. And hey, Bag of Beans, welcome to the Chimp Troop. Yeah, hey. Welcome, man. Thanks for coming a member of the channel. Hey, you know, we're gonna be doing lots more streams here coming up. So hey, you know, if you guys want to, you know, lock in, become members, you get a cool little badge, and you can get access to some cool emotes and stuff too. So, you know, that's pretty cool. Team Trainwreck says, yeah, we need to flesh out more of DK's Rogues Gallery. Let the Voidco Kongs be their own thing, but have them working for K. Rool. Yeah, I'm with you there. Excuse me. One argument I've seen people making to sort of like talk down the idea of putting K. Rool in is that, you know, a lot of people are saying that like, you know, let these new guys stand on their own. You know, why do DK fans always need to beg for old characters to come back and this and that? And it's like, well, you know, that sounds all fine and dandy, and it probably would be fine and dandy if we were getting consistent Donkey Kong game releases, and in every single release for the last 15 years, one every year, right? King K. Rool has been the final big bad guy of the game, and now it's time to make room for some new guys, right? But the truth of it is that K. Rool and the Kremlings have not been the main villains of a mainline Donkey Kong game in like 25 years. It's been something like that. So, yeah, that's why we want to see them. I mean, I don't have to explain this to you guys. You guys are all here because you're fans of this too. You know what I'm talking about. So it's just it makes me, it boggles my mind just a little bit. To see arguments like that being made. Like, I think the reasons that we want the Kremlings back are legitimate. But I also am not opposed to new villains like Voidco. I like them, too. I actually really do. I think that there's some of the most unique looking villains that we've seen for this series in a long time. Like, pretty much ever since Rare left for Microsoft. I'm sorry, the Tikis, not crazy about them. The Snowmads were a step up above the Tikis, but they still don't have the same kind of charm. Excuse me. Or the same kind of charisma that K. Rool and the Kremlings do. definitely a step above, you know, but step above the Tikis, but yeah. Holy crap. Okay, hang on a second. Lots of chats. DJ Kong. You think Nintendo is hiding any more mechanics? I think it's possible. Okay. Not necessarily like massive mechanics, but I do think that they're hiding more Bonanza transformations. I don't think we've seen all of those yet. So I think we'll probably get more of those. Land Clipper, $5. What if they pull an MCU-style end credits teaser where Rool comes to a defeated Void Kong to recruit him and his growing army against the Kongs? That would be really cool. I've seen a lot of ideas like that where it's like, well, maybe they could just tease Rool in this game for the next one, but like, the scary thing to me about doing something like that is that we don't know when we're getting another one. We don't know when we're getting another Donkey Kong game. It could be years and years and years away. I want to see Rool here as sort of like a big, you know, welcoming party to the DK brand coming back to life once again, you know. It's been 11 years since the last Donkey Kong game. I want to know that Rool is here and that he's safe. And that Nintendo isn't throwing him away, you know? That's my big thing. But, yeah, I appreciate that, though. I appreciate your super chat. StarMech! I'm sorry, I don't know what currency that is, but thank you for it. my only issue with the Pauline Jr. theory is that it feels weird for her to have the same dream as her mom. Bowser Jr. is different enough from his dad. I mean, I see what you're saying there. And, like, I guess my line of thinking is that, I don't know, Pauline's kind of just she's a mayor. She's a mayor of New Donk. Is that also her dream to become a singer? I don't know. I mean, you know, a mom and daughter duet kind of thing could also be really cool, you know? But I do see what you're saying there. That's definitely something to think about as far as the Pauline Jr. thing. So I agree. I'll put it that way. I agree with you. It does feel a little weird. Maybe we'll revisit that over the course of this stream, because that's an interesting point. The Invader, $5 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Here's my pitch. Void Kong is possessed by Rool's ghost. That's why they want to go down, so they can get his body back. Now, that would be really cool. I really like the idea of there being, like, this meta resurrection of the Kremlings for this game. You know? It's like, yeah, you know, part of the whole point of getting to the core is to resurrect the Kremlings, both, like, in-game, from a narrative standpoint, but then, like, also, you know, from, like, a meta standpoint from our perspective, because the Kremlings haven't been around for a long time. If they did something like that, oh my god, dude. This isn't just Game of the Year, this is Game of the Century. Okay. Alright. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Felix Espinal. Cursed idea, DK voiced by Otis the cow. I'll take it. That sounds funny. Enraged overweight fanboy, $10. Thank you, my friend. Void Kong's boss theme will be a remix of Big Boss from DKC3 to reference Chaos being a puppet for Rool. To show Void Kong being a puppet or disguise for Rool, mark my words, that is a really cool idea. That's a really cool theory right there, and I really like that. If we get to that boss battle, and it starts playing that song, like, oh shit, man. That shit's gonna be so hype. You just know something crazy is about to go down once that fight is over, you know? You just know somebody's gonna be stepping in. Hopefully it's that big fat guy that we're waiting on. I like that a lot. I like that. Thank you for the super chat. That was a good one. Iblis Azazel. Again, man, thank you. My Pauline origin theory also includes, like, how they're finally including Sarasaland in Mario again with Mario Kart World. I think the next 3D Mario might feature preteen main cast in their origin. Ooh. That's a real thinker right there. That's definitely something that's like, interesting idea. I have a whole theory about what might happen in the next Mario game myself, but I think I'll save that one. I want to make a video about that. Hopefully they don't reveal the next Mario game, the next 3D Mario, before I have a chance to make my video. I'm waiting until after Bonanza comes out. But that being said, I don't even think we're going to get a 3D Mario reveal this year. I think next year's a very likely calendar year to see the next 3D Mario. But, yeah, thank you for the super chat, though. That was interesting. Interesting idea. Al, what if K. Rool arises from the core and he has a form akin to Dry Bowser? That's one that I keep seeing, too. And I guess, like, there is precedent for it, you know, with the gold Kremling skeletons, you know. Certainly a possibility. You never know. I think that would, like... And I think I would be somewhere kind of in the middle. I would feel kind of mixed about that if they decided to do that. Just because, like, I do want to see King K. Rool in the flesh, you know? Not just as a skeleton. So, I don't know. Maybe if a part of it is, like, resurrecting him to his prime or something like that, so we get to see him the way that we want to see him, then, you know, that could be a way to go about it. But, yeah. The Invader! $5, thank you. You know how Rosalina is Mario's daughter? What if preteen? What if Pauline Jr. Is implied to be Mario's daughter as well? Like, Mario fucks. Yeah, Mario gets around. So the real question is, why hasn't she popped one out with Peach yet? Why hasn't she popped one out with Peach? Is that what I said? Why hasn't Mario done the deed with Peach? What would their kid look like? These are the real questions on the Uncle Al stream. I don't know. Peach is exhausted after 8 Koopalings. There we go. That's the explanation. That's what's really going on. So, yeah. I guess, like, that's pretty much what I got as far as, like, the Pauline stuff. Thoughts on the confirmation Swanky Kong is the villain? Listen, Goomba, you joke. Or maybe you don't, I don't know. But I'm there for that. I'm there for that. Give me some Swanky Kong, man. I want Swanky Kong in this game. I know it's probably not happening, but I love his theme song so much in Donkey Kong Country 2. That Bonus Bonanza song, it lives rent-free in my head, and I love it. Enraged overweight fanboy, $5. Thank you, my friend. Also, there needs to be a fake-out credit scene after Void's boss fight where the big man makes his entrance / reveal. I'm with you. That would be dope. That would be dope as hell. Yeah, the Swanky Kong costume. Yeah, that's a thing, too. Like, hopefully there's some cool nods and references with, like, the costumes and the outfits in this game to some of the other Kongs, since they seemingly aren't here. I guess it's not entirely possible that they'll dodge this game altogether. I've seen a common theory and line of thought that I think makes sense, that, like, maybe as, like, a post-game, post-story area for this game, it's like a recreation of DK Island. And that's where they can have all the other Kongs who didn't make an appearance in the story just hanging out, you know? I think that would be awesome. I'm not counting on it, but that would be cool. Bag of beans! Thank you, my friend. Love to see a Kremling Bonanza for DK. That's one of my little theories. And then, yeah, the Kremling Great Elder, yeah. I'm with you guys both on that. I'm telling you, it's so bizarre that we have these crocoid enemies, and, like, that's just it. Like, and they're pretty much, like, the main enemy type of the game. They are recurring all over the place. They're everywhere. So, I think it's a logical conclusion to assume that they're going to be in here somehow. And what I'm suspecting is going to be the case is that there will be a Kremling layer to this game somewhere that you dig into. Maybe there's an Elder Kremling or something like that, and gives you the, yeah, Kremling or Crocodile Bonanza. So the Kong Bonanza, you know, that's not just called like Monkey Bonanza or Gorilla Bonanza. It's straight up called Kong Bonanza. So if there is a Kremling one, I'm thinking that's probably what it would be called, the Kremling Bonanza. I can't wait to see all this coping blow up in our face when Donkey Kong Bonanza releases on July 17th. And a monkey, $5 super chat, thank you. Thank you, my friend. Completely unrelated to DK, but do you draw your own art for thumbnails and everything? I do not. That's my good friend, Brantendo. Brantendo does it. I link him in the descriptions on the videos where he draws the thumbnails. Amazing artist. If you're looking for a thumbnail guy, Brandon's your guy. He's amazing at what he does. And then Kay Lumsey would be perfect as the Elder. Yeah, I'm with you there, Captain Quack. That's something that crossed my mind too. I think that would be awesome. That would be awesome-tacular. What's that? What's the thing? Excelsior. Yeah, that would be Excelsior. That's stupid. What do you think is the finale or the final of the 5 Bonanza forms? If we have Kong, Ostrich, Zebra, and Kremling, I'm assuming probably some kind of underwater transformation. That's my guess. Just to add like a layer of depth there. We'll let you go underwater. Although we haven't... Give me one sec. Excuse me. Yeah, Cyber Guy said Swordfish Bonanza. I was thinking that too, but it almost feels kind of obvious. But at the same time, like they have the Ostrich Bonanza, which I guess also feels kind of obvious. Like, you know, it's very clearly a callback to Espresso. So why not? Why not have a Swordfish Bonanza that references Ungard? I think that would be really cool. But we haven't, I don't think we've really seen any levels that have, like, underwater stuff yet. I think there have been, like, maybe 1 or 2 small instances of there being water in this game. But probably not, like, any water-specific worlds yet. But you would think, like, they would have something like that, you know? Like, am I wrong? Like, they would have an underwater world? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not. LOL, depth underwater. I guess, like, it would be a very situational Bonanza form. So, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm not locked in on the underwater idea. Because, you know, if they have, like, a Swordfish Bonanza... And then what? You're left to flop around on land whenever, like, you're not anywhere near water, which, for most of this game, we haven't seen water so far. Oh, actually, wait the fuck here. Hang on a goddamn second. Yes, there's water. It was literally, like, a big part of the new world that they showed in that direct. With, like, the giant watermelons and stuff and the fruit. There's water all over the place there. Maybe, I don't know. It didn't necessarily seem like an animal-specific layer, though. You know, these Bonanza power-ups do seem linked to very specific animal layers. Like the zebra one, we have a zebra layer. Ostrich layer. Kong, you know, I don't know. Yeah, Kong layer. There's monkeys all over the place there. So, I don't know. Maybe there's not gonna be an underwater Bonanza transformation. Maybe I'm not so sold on that. I'm talking myself out of it. I was thinking about it initially, but now I'm like, I don't know. Maybe not. maybe not, my friends. I don't know. Tara M with a super chat. Thank you. Thank you so much. Skeleton Elder K. Rool Loki seems plausible. And it would be like the Skeleton Gruntilda in that ugly-ass Banjo-Kazooie game. Hey, maybe. I'm with, what was it? Captain Quack and the other people saying K. Lumsey as the Elder. I think that would be fun. make that little callback. You know, we already have Espresso as the elder of the ostrich lair. I don't know that that actually is Espresso, but they fully designed that elder after Espresso. So I'm gonna sip some water here. Give me a sec. I've been rambling for an hour straight already. Hang on, stick with me. Shark Bonanza, and it's a land shark. I guess that's a possibility. But then, like, what would it even do? You know, like, functionally, how would it be much different from, like, just the Kong Bonanza? Or, I don't know. Any of them. Swimming. Well, yeah, swimming. Yes. But, like, I don't know. I just, with there being little swimming places in this game that we've seen so far, it kind of just, to me, feels like maybe it would just be too situational of a power-up to include. That's not to say that it won't be here. Maybe it is just going to be a mostly useless power-up outside of specific instances. But it does feel like you could get a lot of use out of, you know, returning to old areas with power-ups like these that you didn't have on your first pass. I guess the same could be said about having an underwater power-up that lets you go underwater. I don't know. But I think I'm a little less sold on there being an underwater one now. Hear me out, Spider Bonanza for Squitter. I like that a lot. There was a concept for it I saw on Twitter the other day that I thought looked awesome. A Squitter Bonanza would be so cool. Juliet Hotel. Dark Lord of Sock Puppets. $2 super chat, thank you. Gloomy Galleon Layer. Puff Toss Elder. Let's get it. Let's get it. I'm down. Thank you. Strange Matter. Imagine if K. Rool returned at the end of the game like a giant gold skeleton, Dry Bowser style. Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit ago, too. I think I'd be somewhere, like, I would be excited, but also a little mixed at the same time. Like, if the goal is to resurrect him so we can see him the way that we want to see him, big, fat, green, scaly bastard, maybe I'd be down for that. But otherwise, I don't know. I'd be like, you know. We have Dry Bowser. Do we need a Dry K. Rool too? I'd be like, I don't know. I want to see the big green scaly boy, you know. Thank you guys for the super chats. Snake Bonanza, given Ratley had a street named after him, a new donk, perchance indeed. That's an interesting idea. I forget who I was talking to, but pointed out that we saw, like, or in this game so far, we've seen most of the characters that have been referenced in New Donk City, aside from Ratley, and, like, obviously K. Rool, and, like, there maybe was, like, one other one. I think it was Squawks. I don't think, yeah, because we haven't seen Squawks yet. So, I don't know. Hey, maybe. Ratley, Snake Bonanza. I don't know. I wonder what you'd be able to do with that, though. Because, like, I mean, if it functioned kind of like Ratley, let you jump really high. I mean, I guess that could help you maybe get over or get on top of a surface that you can't climb as Donkey Kong or something like that. I guess I could see that being the case. Yeah. Maybe. Calvin Coolidge, $5 super chat, thank you. In Odyssey, Pauline says she was captured by an ape in a quiz. Obviously, this is this actually refers to Void Kong, who is actually DK Jr., Donkey Kong's brother. What? You've cracked the case. I don't know. Yeah, no, that was what I was talking about earlier. Earlier, though, she does make reference directly to what we're assuming is the DK arcade era. Man, I can't speak today. I'm just like slurring my words, just jamming them all together. Or I guess in the case of Calvin Coolidge here, he believes it's actually Void Kong. So you know. Which, hey, you know, wouldn't that be the twist of the century? Not only are we getting twists in Donkey Kong Bonanza, but it's retroactively giving us a twist in Mario Odyssey to show that it was Void Kong all along. Hey, funny thing is... Okay, let me just entertain this here for a second, okay? Let me just entertain this. The whole thing about Void Kong in our little journey to the west theory that is holding up remarkably well, might I add. Subscribe to Don't Mind Joe. He came up with it. And he's, I'd say he's been pretty damn spot on with it. Let me tell you, we're theorizing that Void Kong is based off the six-eared macaque, and his whole thing is being able to transform and be a little deceiving trickster, you know? And, so, hey, maybe he does transform into Donkey Kong at some point, kidnaps Pauline, right? And you, as the Donkey Kong that we're playing as in this game, have to go rescue her. And then she grows up to become the Pauline we know, and then names everything in New Donk City after her. Okay, there we go. We just figured out how this works as a prequel. Doesn't make any sense, because Donkey Kong would be in the shoes of Jumpman, but, you know, like, details. That's something else. And Jellyfish Bonanza, I like it. Let's do it. How would y'all react to DK Jr. actually returning if this happened in Bonanza? I'd be down for it, but, like, I think I'm kind of just buying into the angle now that current Donkey Kong actually is DK Jr. And, like, Mario Kart World kind of toys with that just a little bit in the promotional thing where they have all the Super Nintendo characters lined up, you know, with their Super Nintendo counterparts on a sign, and DK's there with DK Jr. And, like, it just kind of makes sense if we want to lean into the idea of, like, the Mario movie where DK is just Cranky's son. I don't know. I think it works. Bag of beans. Thank you, my bag of beans friend. DK might get his N64 model as an outfit. That would be awesome. Do you know how fun that would be to run around as, like, N64 DK, punching the shit out of things, breaking shit open? That'd be fun. But DK Jr. is in Sluggers or Tennis at some point with DK himself. Yeah, but Baby Mario is in those games with Mario. Baby Luigi, Baby Peach now, and baby other babies, the other babies in the other games. You know, it wouldn't be that big of a stretch to put DK Jr. in alongside current DK, too. Rex being a prequel's the dumbest thing I've heard. I know, I'm not buying it either. I don't buy it. I just don't think that makes any sense. Like, even with what's right in front of us in this game. Cranky Kong talking about his rival Mario. I don't buy it. I do not buy it. I will gladly eat my words if that ends up being the case. But I don't buy it. Terra M. Void Kong is like DK's reverse Flash situation. Yeah. What have I missed so far? Well, Bluster Kong himself, we had a little discussion about Pauline and what could possibly be going on with her. To boil it down for you, a little TLDR for everybody who's just tuning in. Basically, this game is not a prequel. There's no way it is. That's just fact. A fact that we don't have all the hard evidence for because the game isn't in front of us yet. We don't have it. But maybe she's Pauline Jr. Or maybe she's a young Pauline that was aged down somehow by Voidco magic. So that's the TLDR for the little summary for anybody who is just tuning in. Moving liquids with Elephant Bonanza. I mean, I guess it's possible. We haven't seen anything to suggest that there's any elephant layers in this game yet, though. That's not to say that there aren't any. Maybe there is. Excuse me. Sorry, just reading words to see what to talk about next. Hopefully we get more costumes for DK. and Pauline for Mario Kart World after Bonanza releases, because one costume each while the babies get more is fucked up. Yeah, I'm with you there. I think it's gonna happen. I think it'll happen eventually. Maybe not right away. Might be a couple months, but I think it'll happen. It doesn't, yeah, I agree. It doesn't make any sense to have it be so light. I didn't see a lot of people talking about this, but apparently on the official Nintendo Store website, Void Kong's goal is to take all the world's riches for himself. Yeah, I did see about that, and I think, I don't know, that something just doesn't add up there for me either. Like, it doesn't feel like, why, what purpose is there? Like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like a strong motivation, a strong incentive to try to beat Void Kong and Void Co to the core to stop them from getting rich. I don't know. Like, to me, I don't know. It doesn't... It feels like a weak motivation. Not to say that maybe that's all there is to it. But I don't know if I believe that that's what's going on. I think there's something a little more to it. And, like, I'll say it till the ends of the earth. Even, like, let's just say, I'm just throwing this out there. Let's just say K. Rool and the Kremlings are not involved with this game at all whatsoever, period, right? I still believe that Void Co is a red herring, and Void Kong is a total fake fraud phony, and someone or something is going to step in and be the big bads of the game. It's just that, K. Rool and the Kremlings make sense, Even if, I'm just saying. Okay, I got some more chats I gotta read. Enraged Overweight Fanboy. I love that username, by the way. That's funny. Uncle Al Bonanza. Loud belch attack. Yep, you got that right. That would be my Bonanza power. Man, I should get a Bonanza, like, PNG thing or something for for the game whenever I stream it. That'd be kind of funny. The Uncle Al Bonanza PNG tuber. Thank you for the super chat. Aiden, hey Aiden, how you doing? How you doing, pal? Not saying it's happening, but what if Mario made a random ass cameo? Hey, he kind of already has. In the Nintendo Direct. He was a rock. They painted him. So, I don't know. Maybe it's probably not too far-fetched to think Mario could show up here. I kind of hope he doesn't, though. Just because, or at least outside of, like, I don't know, a little pixelated Mario or something. I still like the idea of Mario and DK being separate in their own separate games. Like, obviously acknowledging that they exist within each other's worlds, that's fine. But they still have a separate cast of characters and core characters, and it's been so long since we got a Donkey Kong game that I really want to see DK and the DK lore and history being emphasized first over Mario. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, thanks for the super chat. Juliet Hotel, rich in potassium, maybe. Maybe. Thank you for that. Yeah, playing the playable demos that are showing up in the stores. Yeah, I know. I want to so bad. I would love to, but there isn't one near me. I went to both Target and Walmart, local. They ain't got them. I tried to call a Walmart that's like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes from here earlier today, and their electronics department didn't answer. I called 2 times, and it just rang until it was like, no one's here to help your bitch ass. Call again later. I'm like, okay. Alright. When you get a $100 super chat, you go Bonanza. Oh, that's a fun idea. That's a fun idea. I don't think I've ever got... Well, okay, that's not true. I was going to say, I don't think I've ever gotten a $100 super chat. But I think maybe I have. But that would be like... Yeah, that would be Bonanza worthy, absolutely. Land Clipper. What if the richest thing is true? But it's revealed that Wario was the main villain, like he was when DKC1 was in development. You know, with this game's emphasis on riches and gold and money and riches... Maybe, I don't know, maybe Wario does show up here. He's like, ha, that's right. I am the new villain of the Donkey Kong games. Ha. Ha 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 ha. Fuck King K. Rool. I don't know. It's a fun idea. Uncle Al costume in Bonanza? Yeah, there we go. Let's get it. Let's get it! Put Donkey Kong in a banana shirt and I'll be happy. I don't know if it's been brought up, but if DK is the Sun Wukong of this game, could Pauline potentially be similar to Neza? Neza? I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry. Both have bracelets that trap them in childlike bodies. That's an interesting suggestion. I don't know. We've been theorizing that Pauline would be sort of like the Tang Sanzang of this game that Donkey Kong has to escort. But I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know enough about the Journey to the West. I started to read it actually after we got through that theory. So I'd like to learn more. It's a very interesting story. It's a fun story too. I got a little ways in, but didn't get far enough. What if the richest thing is true? Oh, yeah, I already read that. Thanks, Land Clipper. Dippin' Dots, $5. Thank you. The final boss will actually be Lord Frederick wearing Tiki Tongue as a mask. Could you imagine? Do you know how much people would lose their mind and not in a good way? There'd be riots in the streets. People being up on Nintendo's doorstep, kicking that shit in. Oh, man. Yeah, the bracelet. So you guys talking about the bracelet? It's a fun idea. I don't know enough about it, but a very interesting idea. Maybe we've been wrong this whole time. Maybe Pauline and the Tang Sanzang angle. Maybe that's just a little bit off the mark. Maybe it is that the necklace or not necklace. Bracelet kid angle. I'll have to bring that up. To Don't Mind Joe and see what he thinks on that. He's the resident Journey to the West expert. I'm just the delivery boy, you know. I give you guys the goods. Actually, I think he's working on a follow-up video to talk about, more Journey to the West stuff after that last Direct, so keep an eye out for that. I think it's very fascinating how much of this game seems to be lifting from Journey to the West. Literally, even straight down... Okay, this does add, a tinge of, what is it? Dragon Ball to the mix, that they're pitting themselves up against a rival faction to try to beat them to a place to get a wish. This case, the core of the earth to make a wish, I mean, there it is, a little touch of Dragon Ball there. And maybe that's something in Journey to the West too, I don't know. But yeah, definitely Dragon Ball. Yeah, and then the green treasure chest with the horns and the bullnose ring, absolutely. That's, again, that continues to throw me off, too. It's like, why is that there? Doesn't make any sense. Dragon Ball's is already very Journey to the West. Yeah. Dragon Ball's absolutely Journey to the West coded. And we have Super Saiyan Donkey Kong in this game, so that's just... it's just real. Journey to the West, it's real. It's like the One Piece. The One Piece is also real. This is Journey to the West. Journey to the West. It's way too specific of a design to throw away and be a wash. Which design? Void Kong, maybe? That's probably what you're referring to. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. But at the same time, I don't know. Okay, so I already brought it up, but I'll bring it up again. I like Void Kong a lot from a design standpoint, and he seems like a kooky little character. I think he'd be cool to just kind of keep around, but in some shape or form, he's a fake. He is a falsehood. Whether that's Whether that's talking about him as King K. Rool, maybe, you know, maybe that's a possibility. Or if he is just, you know, from a narrative standpoint, meant to just kind of be a red herring. He's a fake falsehood, you know, of a character. Because, like, you know, it's also kind of weird that they would just, like, come out and reveal Void Kong as he's the main villain of the game. He's gonna be the final boss at the end of this, like, right off the rip. Not to say that they couldn't. Nintendo's done it before. But I just feel like that's a big trigger to pull right off the rip in a game that's already given us all kinds of twists and turns from the marketing. I don't know. Sorry, the treasure chest with the horns and the nose ring. Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. Way too specific of a design. Yeah, okay. No, I'm with you there. It's definitely way too specific. And the fact that it lines up, again, with this whole Journey to the West thing is just bonkers. Something don't seem too right. Something don't stink too good. Whew. If he is a fake out big bad, he still better have a good boss fight. Lame fake final bosses are no fun. Yeah, that's something I'm wondering about. Because we don't necessarily see him being like a super strong kind of character, but he does seem to have like maybe some kind of, I don't know, laser banana phone gun thing. He shoots into the sky. So I don't know, maybe he does something with that and that allows him to, I don't know, be a kooky little powerful little guy against Donkey Kong, uses some kind of like magical powers against him or something. I don't know. But, you know, there's also the angle of the Bonanza powers, which I fully expect whoever the final boss of this game to also utilize. I'm just saying, man. I think it would be so fucking cool if it was King K. Rool, and King K. Rool used the Bonanza powers and became a big bull man for one of his powers. A big bull. A bull against the zebra Bonanza or something like that. It would be so cool to see them incorporate all the different Bonanza powers into the final boss fight somehow. Like, you know, you gotta beat him up a little bit with the Kong Bonanza. Maybe race against him with the zebra Bonanza. I don't know. Soar through the air with the ostrich Bonanza. I don't know. You know what I'm saying, though. I think it'd be cool. Mr. Niffler. That's a unique username. Thank you, my friend. Would you consider making a DK Bonanza abridged video like your GTA Courage one? Also think King K. Rool is pulling a Cappy and captured Void with the bow tie. I don't know. That's interesting. Yeah, as far as an abridged video, I'm not planning on anything. I mean, not to say, you know, never say never. Never say never about these types of things, but, you know, my focus is going to be doing stuff here, you know, talking about the games, playing the games, making some silly little videos about them. Not super focused on the meme and parody stuff right now, but, yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for that super chat. Hey, Dave, I see you there. I think K. Rool should become Mario and then go wahoo in the end. Yeah, there we go. That's how we get our Mario cameo. Okay? That's the only way I'll take it. Is if Mario is also King K. Rool. That's the only way. Okay. Something else I want to throw out there too. Man, this whole stinking stream transformed from talking about Pauline right back around to the Kremlings. We're all croc-pilled here. We're all coping for the croc. But I do want to say, reptilian people living underground has always kind of been like a thing in like folklore and various, you know, stories and that kind of stuff. Excuse me. So, I don't know. Digging underground, I don't know. The whole thing about going underground, trying to reach the core, it feels like it would be such a huge missed opportunity to not include those guys, our croc fellas. You know what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm saying. You know what I'm getting at. My theory is that King K. Rool is the real CEO of Voidco. It's a possibility. There's some new cranky dialogue that was found today from one of the demos that kind of indicates, excuse me, that somebody is at the head of Voidco. He could have just been talking about Void Kong. That's entirely possible, but he could have been talking about somebody else as well. That's the thing. It's kind of 50-50 right now with Cranky's dialogue. That's where I'm at with Cranky. Whether he's actually talking about Void Kong and Voidco, or the Kremlings and K. Rool. I don't know. Yeah, to be fair, the Pauline stuff is way too confusing to the timeline as is. No, yeah, for sure. For sure. Like, there's no, like, solid way to look at what we have right now and be like, yep, that's the answer. That's what's going on with Pauline. And Nintendo made no attempts to explain any of that either in the Direct. They want us guessing about this, you know? They want us to do the marketing for them, to get out here and do big, stupid streams like this, where we talk about if, you know, what the angle is with Pauline. We're marketing the game for them. You're welcome, Nintendo. I'll take a check in the mail. I'll be happy. Thank you. Dippin' Dots, $5 Super Chat, the real way Mario should be in this is through having a Jumpman Elder. Oh my god. Okay, that's a fun idea, actually. Although I don't know if, you know, Jumpman being some giant, I don't know, powerful sage elder. I don't know, that feels kind of weird. But if they did something like that, I'd be laughing my ass off just seeing this wrinkly old Jumpman looking guy have him show up. That'd be something. Thanks for the super chat. In terms of the timeline, there is no timeline. Nintendo. Maybe. Timeline? Not necessarily. I mean, you couldn't line up all the Mario games and Donkey Kong games and be like, here it is, here's the definitive Mario timeline. Like, it doesn't work like that. But there are certain established elements that just feel like, you know, you don't toy with that. And in this particular case, the arcade Donkey Kong game, you know, the actual ground zero starting point for both the Mario and Donkey Kong series feels like a weird thing to tamper with. I just don't see them doing. I could be totally off. Maybe Nintendo decided, hey, you know, we've had this same story for 40 years of the plumber and the monkey and the girl. Let's do something different. Let's shake it up, you know. Let's throw all that shit away. let's give it a more wholesome angle. But I don't buy it. I don't buy that for a second. Nintendo. I think DK Bonanza is more of a soft reboot, despite Cranky Kong being in the game. Maybe this is a retelling of how Pauline met Donkey Kong. I don't know. Like, it's not even just Cranky Kong being in the game, it's also Cranky Kong's dialogue. And the fact that he mentions specifically the rival of Mario in the arcade games, you know. That's where it gets hairy to me. It's not just that Cranky Kong exists here. Yeah, Bluster Kong brings up too. It's not just that, like, New Donk City exists here too, you know. So it's like, Dave with the Cranky Omnipresence Kong. Yeah. That's actually what's going on here. Cranky is just all-seeing, all-knowing. So Cranky only said he kidnapped ladies and threw barrels, right? I don't think he ever said he kidnapped a woman named Pauline, did he? I guess not. He didn't say, I kidnapped Pauline, but... okay, now this is reaching outside of the game. In New Donk City and Mario Odyssey, Pauline references, through dialogue, the events of the arcade game and how she got kidnapped by a giant ape and it scarred her for life. And that she's just living with it, but it's okay. She's better now. She's dealing with it. Can we use Odyssey as, like, a reference point for what's going on with this game? Maybe not necessarily, but, like, I think it's reasonable to assume that they are connected with the boxes, the new Donk City boxes that are found in Bonanza so far. So, I don't know. I don't know, man. But, you know, like I said earlier, I mean, isn't this just kind of crazy? Guys, like, this kind of conversation isn't the kind of stuff that you expect to be having about Nintendo games. and, like, in the context of the story of the game. But let alone the fact that we're talking about a Donkey Kong game here. We're talking about a Donkey Kong game and the story implications of this character existing in this world. Like, I don't know, man. It's just like... This is crazy. It's just crazy to me. But it's also just so exciting. Like, this is the most fun that I've had speculating about a game, like, probably ever. Just ever, period. There's so much to wrap our heads around, and it could just be, like, a totally simple answer at the end of the day. But, like, the fact that they've already pulled some little twists on us with the marketing. The fact that Odd Rock was just, like... He was there, and now he's not, and it's clear now that Odd Rock is not going to be there for long. It doesn't play, like, a big role in the story, like, as it is Pauline, you know. I'm just saying, this game is going to be nuts. I don't care how it plays out. Well, maybe a little bit, but I think it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild. Oh. I saw somebody talking earlier about how, like, before they dig into this game, and this got me thinking, because I'm kind of, like, considering doing the same thing myself if we don't find out about this beforehand. Okay, but before I get to that, let me read this from my good pal, Enraged Overweight Fanboy. Again, I love that username, thanks. Found a screenshot from a demo that suggests Void is someone in disguise. Don't know if it's real or Photoshop. Where can I post it? I know exactly what you're talking about. I saw that earlier. I think it's pretty much been debunked. It's probably Photoshop. The text is, like, blurry, and the font doesn't even match the font that we had that we have in the game. So probably not. Do you still live with your parents, Uncle Al? Nope, I don't. I feel like I should, though. I feel like I should, from all the money I'm spending here lately on Nintendo shit. But I'm doing alright. I'm doing alright for myself, I'd say. I'm enjoying life. A little bit. I got a Donkey Kong game on the way. Okay, so, anyway. What was I saying? Shit. I shouldn't have distracted myself with a super chat. I have the memory span of a gnat. Write it off as an expense? Yeah, that's the way. You bought 3 Switch 2s? Yeah. But luckily, those have been paid for. Not just by me, so. Land Clipper, $5 super chat. At the end of the game, DK will turn to the camera and do the Seth Rogen laugh and do the funny Fortnite dance. Let's get it. Let's get it. That would be really funny. Just get DK doing the laugh. That's not even... That's like the worst Seth Rogen laugh. Shit. What was... Okay, hang on. One second. God damn it, my stupid brain. What was I talking about? There was something before the last 2 super chats. I was like, I'll get back around to this. Hang on. I'm gonna scroll up. Damn it. I don't know. I totally lost my train of thought. Maybe you guys can remind me. Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you, Don. I see you there. Thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah, so somebody was saying that, like, they're gonna look up and see if K. Rool is in this game before they start playing it, just so that way it takes away the feeling of needing to rush through it to get to that part and and risk being totally disappointed if he's not in this game. And I'm kind of kicking around the idea of doing the same thing myself. Like, on one hand, I don't want to be spoiled But at the same time, like, I'm gonna be looking out for hints and ideas and, like, you know, like, wanting to rush to get to that part of the game to find out if he's in it. And, like, I might not even get to experience, like, the game. I know, I see you guys saying don't spoil it. And, like, I agree, I don't want to spoil it for myself, but at the same time, like, I feel like I'm not going to be able to take in the game the way it's presented to me if I'm just worried and anticipating if King K. Rool is going to show up in it the whole time, you know what I mean? So that way, at least if I know he's there or not, I can sit down and play the game and enjoy it for what it is without even needing to think about King K. Rool, because I'll either know that, like, yes, okay, he's going to be here, he's going to be in this thing eventually, or no, or no, he's not going to be there. I think you're stuck in the DK Family thread. They were talking about that today. I think that's where it came from. I don't usually get on forums, but somebody sent me like a screenshot of that particular post, and I totally agree with it. I'm with them on that. Like, but again though, at the same time, it's also kind of like, but do I want to do that to myself? Because, like, holy shit, like, wouldn't it be the coolest thing ever to go into this game not knowing if he's going to be here, and then he is? That would be the coolest thing ever. Excuse me. So, I don't know. I have to kick around the idea. There's a rumored Nintendo Direct coming up in July. And if they do one before Donkey Kong Bonanza, there's a chance we might get a new trailer that gives us a little tease. So, we'll see. Okay, hang on. There was a super chat from Iblis. I mean, Pauline wouldn't need to tell Mario he saved her. He would know. They could be retroactively making that Void Kong. Interesting. It's funny how you guys have planted that idea in my head now. I'll keep that in mind. I don't know if I'm totally on board with it, but it's a fun idea to ponder. That actually, Arcade DK was Void Kong this whole time. They I guess not even retcon it, but retroactively put him in those shoes. It's an interesting idea. Hang on, I'm gonna take another sip of water. I need some more water in my system. Give me one sec. Pauline is actually Luigi. That's the real twist. That's the real twist of this whole game, you guys. Would explain his fascination or need for Pauline. Yeah. I'm thinking, like, my guess is that Void Kong's need for Pauline is somehow linked to these elders. Because they learn, like, the Bonanza powers from them, and then Pauline's singing transforms Donkey Kong into his Bonanza forms. So I'm guessing that it's somehow linked to that. Maybe Void Kong and the Void Company want to learn certain Bonanza powers, and they can't do it without her. And that's why they've kidnapped her. But I don't know, like that's like the most reasonable explanation I can think of. No idea if that's what's really going on. Yeah, I gotta pop my knee. Come on, knee, do your thing. Please pop. I don't know, sometimes I like sit for a while and then my knee is like, come on. Feels like I can't get it. There we go, got it. Dippa Dots! There will be a bear elder with a legally distinct blue backpack and reddish Breagle living in it. Then he goes, Bonanza! Banjanza! Guh-huh. Guh-huh. He goes, Ekum bokum, boogity boo, boogity boo. That's fun. That would be really funny if they did something like that. Yeah, and then, like, well, I don't know if it would work like this. I was gonna say, then, like, Pauline could transform into the bird. Then you're literally just Banjo and Kazooie. That'd be really funny. Yeah, I just want to throw this out there. I just want to say, like, thank you guys for your very generous super chats here this evening so far, and just for coming and hanging out and chatting with me. I'm not done yet. I'll keep chatting for a little bit, but I do just want to say that, like, yeah, it's like super cool to just like hop on here and chat with you guys sometimes about some of these wacky ideas. So I do want to do this, you know, a bit more often, I guess. And speaking on that too, as far as like streaming and stuff goes, I'm thinking like throughout the rest of this week, I also want to do. I still got to get around to my Donkey Kong Country 3 streams, so I might squeeze those in this week. And I definitely want to do another Mario Kart World stream with viewers at some point. So, for those of you guys who have that game, we'll definitely get into that. I'll put, like, a room code, and y'all can join. I think that'd be fun. Land Clipper, Donko, and Paul Zooey. Yeah, there we go. There are confirmed more than the ones we've seen so far. I feel like that's a reasonable guess, like, you know, even without doing any kind of digging. Like, I don't think they would reveal all of the Bonanza transformations in one foul swoop. And, you know, I am wondering, too, if, like, you can only have a certain amount equipped at a time or something like that. Like, you can swap them out or something like that. Excuse me. Just because of how it looks like you cycle through them. But I don't know. That's just pure speculation on my part. I think I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Wow. Don't know where that came from. Allergies, I guess. I don't know. Kicking in. Sneeze attack! Uncle Al Sneeze Bonanza! Rather underwhelming sneeze. Sorry, I'll try to up my sneeze game next time. Make sure it's a little more sneeze-fueled for you guys. Funky will be the guy who facilitates moving between worlds. Man, I wish, but we have the elevator for that, so... Allergies, huh? Oh, here comes another one. How was that for a sneeze? I tried to up my game. I think I hurt my throat a little bit doing that. So next time I gotta be a little less powerful. The elevator will do that for you? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Are you gonna try to find a demo kiosk? Yeah, I mean, I want to. I really want to, but, like, I don't even know. I'm pretty sure I would probably have to do some driving to find one. None of my local stores have one of the demo kiosks. I was gonna do it today, actually, because there was a location about, like, close to an hour from me that I thought had a demo kiosk. But when I called them, they did not. They told me, nope. So I was like, shit. Okay. Is there a Best Buy near you? Yeah, there is one about, like, half hour-ish from me. But I have my doubts that they would have one of those kiosks. I guess I could try. I was under the impression that they were only going to be at Walmarts and Targets. Do they have those kiosks at Best Buy as well? There's one near you, but it doesn't have the demo. Okay. Yeah, that's something I keep hearing too. Dave's in the chat. He was telling me that his Target has the kiosk but no demo. So, oh, GameStop has it too. Okay. Well, maybe I'll have to check my GameStop. I've only checked my local Walmart and Target, so haven't checked any Best Buys or GameStops. I'll have to do that. I do know a GameStop actually that's like, I don't know, decently close, about a half hour, that tends to have demo things set up, so maybe I could check that one. I think it'd be fun to get to play it and then give you guys some thoughts about it in a video. Whew. Now I'm like all sniffly from sneezing. Hey, you found it at Best Buy, but hilariously, it wasn't at the Nintendo NYC store when I visited last week. Wow, yeah. Well, I think it was only within like the last few days, right? Probably that they've added the DK demo just ever since the Direct. I don't know. Best Buy got Switch 1 kiosk. I see. Kremling Bonanza. Let you command enemies. Death roll attack. Ooh, that's an interesting idea. Commanding enemies. That's kind of fun. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I do wonder, like, if there was a Kremling Bonanza, like, what would that... How would that function differently to, like, the Kong Bonanza? Because, like, the Kong Bonanza is the one that's, like, big and punchy, right? And it does all the breaking and destroying shit. So... You know, how would a Kremling Bonanza differ from that? I don't know. Give him a built-in projectile attack. Well, I think the ostrich one kind of has that. It'd be maybe a little samey in that kind of way. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it could be a different kind of projectile. Swimming. You know, that could be maybe that could be how they could incorporate the swimming idea. Is with a Kremling. Although we don't really see Kremlings swimming in any of the DK games. Like, I don't know if there's ever been an underwater Kremling, which is actually kind of mind-boggling to think about a little bit. I think there's at least 2 more Bonanzas. 2 more Bonanza skills on the skill list. Yeah. I think it's a safe bet. We know for a fact that... Okay, well, maybe not a fact. But I think it's safe to assume that there are more that they haven't shown us yet. Which, of course, you know, they don't want to just spoil everything the game has to offer. So, the Lava Kremlings in DKC2. Huh. Yeah! Okay, yeah, that is true. Because you can jump on their head. So I guess there is that. Well, and they are in the swamp, too. But, excuse me, as far as underwater levels go, yeah, no underwater Kremlings, so. I don't know if, like, underwater Kremling Bonanza power would make a whole lot of sense in connection to the Kremlings for this, but you never know. Maybe maybe the actual Kremling world, the Kremling layer of this game ends up being an underwater world, and that's how they make that connection. This is some serious coping that we're doing right here, though. I'll tell you that. We are coping it up. Maybe that's where the sneezing's coming from. Been huffing too much copium. I've been going way too ham. Way too ham at it. The Kremling world might be the final or penultimate world. That's kind of what I'm leaning to. That's why I keep leaning into this idea of, like, you know, the core of the planet, and maybe it's actually, like, the Kremling core layer of this game. I think that would be a real sort of deep-cut reference and acknowledgement. I feel like it would be insane if that ends up being the case. I don't know if I totally believe that they would go that deep with it, but at the same time, they are making a lot of references to, like, Country and 64 and, like, all that kind of stuff in this game. They're making references to all the different DK eras, and even making some deep cuts already, like with the Northern Cremisphere being on the fossil maps. So I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. You know what to say. I don't know. Here, give me 1 second. Do-ba-do. Ah-do-ba-do. I'm just gonna make another... Boom. I'll set it for an hour. I'll set it for an hour. I'm just setting up another little stream goal. It's a little lower than before. It does say 10, but lower goals. I think it's like $2 and up contribute towards the goal. I'm just throwing it out there. We don't need to hit it. But, you know, it's fun to read the super chats that come in, and it makes it a little, like, easier to have a starting point for discussion, you know? But otherwise, I'll just keep skimming the comments, and we'll go from there, so. Hit the website and see a new elephant layer. Is there an elephant layer that we can, like, determine from any of the website or anything? I see my cursor was highlighting Cyber Guy's comment saying, we must find the 4 cope letters. Yeah, there we go. Show it on stream, you can't find it. Yeah, I haven't seen anything about the elephant layer. Okay, so you're saying check the website. I'll do it. I'll do it here. Oops. I dragged my one window over, but I didn't oh my god, what is going on here? I have so many windows open and so many different tabs. I've got a problem. Okay. Turbo Pikachu, $2 super chat. I rarely ever buy Amiibo, but pre-order DK and Pauline. Yeah, I actually still need to do that as well. I'm assuming there's a way to do it for, like, in-store pickup, right? Because one of the last times that I ordered Amiibo, and this was a few years ago, I had them shipped to me and the boxes showed up all dinged up, and I don't want that to happen with this Amiibo. I like the packaging. I like to keep them in the packaging and collect them because I'm just a weirdo like that. I don't want my Donkey Kong box dinged up. Donkey Kong Bonanza website. You secured mine at your local GameStop. Okay, I might have to do that. That might be what I have to do. So have they changed the website ever since they initially revealed it? I'm scrolling down through it right now. So we kind of have like a giraffe sort of looking layer, ostriches, zebras. I'm not really seeing anything about an elephant though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. I'm not seeing anything. Wonder if DK will have any costume references. Would be pretty limiting to what we've seen so far. Yeah, like, you know, for as cool as, like, some of the different outfits we have are for DK, and, well, mostly just DK so far, like, Pauline has some interesting variety. DK just mostly has slacks with different colors, and then, of course, you can change his fur and all that kind of stuff, and his tie. And I guess, like, I don't know, it would be kind of cool to see some different kinds of outfits, you know? He said, I may have to go to the Japanese website. Okay. I'll do it. I'll do it just for you, fellas. Donkey Kong Bonanza Japanese website. I'm not going to be able to read shit on this website, though. That is, I don't even know how to get to it. I don't know how to get to it. Google isn't being too kind about finding that one. Maybe you guys can tip me off on how to get there. Diddy Kong DLC, maybe? I'd be down. That would be pretty cool. I don't think it's happening, though. Yeah, you know, it is interesting how they didn't really draw much attention, really at all, to Diddy and Dixie. We just kind of get glimpses of them throughout the recent Direct. Like, you know, Cranky Kong got the red carpet rolled out for him. Got the name drop and everything. Not for Dixie and Diddy. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's going on with those guys. Diddy Bonanza. I know where we're going with this. We're not going there. We're not going towards the Diddy Bonanza. Aiden, $10 super chat. Thank you, my friend. To be honest, it's staying even more of a big reveal led to some random ass main antagonist with no K. Rool than it would with Void Kong simply being the big bad with no K. Rool. Evidence says otherwise, though. No, I totally agree with this, too. Like, you know, don't get me wrong, we could totally be just coped up out of our brains and there's no K. Rool. But it would be kind of lame to have, like, a twist villain that isn't K. Rool. The thing about, if we're going off of the Journey to the West connection thing, in the Journey to the West, Sun Wukong has a very specific rival in the Demon Bull King. And that's what makes the story personal for Sun Wukong. And so, you know, the only goal for Donkey Kong in this game so far is to chase down more bananas, which, hey, you know, that's always been Donkey Kong's thing. If that's all it amounts to, then okay. But, man, it would just add that extra layer of, like, depth and urgency and just, like, stakes if K. Rool shows up and then Donkey Kong gets serious. You know, he puts on his serious face. It's not just about bananas anymore. Now his rival is here too. And he wants something. He's up to something. We don't know what it is. But now Donkey Kong knows, like, okay, now we actually do have to get to that core before K. Rool does, you know? Because like we talked about earlier, Void Kong and Void Co., their goal seemingly is to obtain riches. But it just doesn't feel like... It just doesn't feel like that compelling of a motivation to like, go try and stop them. It's just kind of like... Well, why do I want to stop them from getting rich? What's the rush? Let them have some money, you know? They could probably use it. They're a gangly little bunch. They could probably, you know... Use some clothes that aren't from the dollar store. The thrift shop like Void Kong seems to be wearing. So I don't know, yeah, like making it a whole lot more like serious, adding the stakes. If K. Rool shows up and Donkey Kong's like, oh, that's him saying like, I'm gonna stop you, King K. Rool. That's what he says. You know, I don't know. It just adds a more interesting layer to everything. Luke Salmon says, $5 super chat, thank you. Here's my theory. What if the next 3D Mario game is not even an original Mario game, but DK Bonanza again? Except you can't destroy terrain. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think Nintendo might be... really testing the limits of what their audience is willing to pay for if they did that, you know. But I appreciate the super chat. Thanks. Hang on. I gotta move my tabs around again. I'm getting confused by all the different things. Okay. You guys are awesome, by the way, with those super chats. Thank you. You guys are making my day. Captain Quack, it's interesting because near the end of the trailer, we get a shot of Pauline singing on top of a ground made of gold. Maybe it ties into Void Kong's wish. Hey, maybe. You know, there was an interesting theory that I think Skips found on... I'm assuming it was from Family Boards. That's what it kind of looked like. About... you know, there possibly being some sort of, like, mid-game twist or something like that, where you reach the core, the wish is made, and then, you know, something happens. And it appears that it could be in, like, some sort of crocodile lair, potentially, you know, just based off of the shape of the rocks in the background. I know, it's real, like, 1 + 1 = K. Rool type stuff, but, I don't know. We're all out here just digging and trying to find the same thing. Which also, should I mention that, like, just Nintendo would be out of their gourd, just out of their freaking skulls if they don't include K. Rool in this game at this point. I mean, how many videos and theories and posts have you guys seen in the last, like, 2-3 months all around the idea, like, is King K. Rool in this game? Is he in this game? People want him back. And that's a reasonable expectation after showing up in the highest selling fighting game of all time, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And he had one of the most viewed trailers out of all the newcomers. It's like, I am just saying. Nintendo. What if the second half is we get back to the other side of the planet and it's DK Isle? Yeah, I suggested something in my something similar to that in my most recent video too. That, like, you know, maybe there's like a midway point of the game. Maybe it is the core, right? Maybe it is the core of the game, and Void Kong betrays Grumpy Kong and Poppy Kong to work with K. Rool, or maybe even Void Kong gets betrayed by K. Rool. And at about the midway of the point, K. Rool steps in and becomes, like, the main guy, and then the Void Co. guys have to team up with Donkey Kong on their way back around to the surface of the game. But I don't know, because, like, at that point, well, the wish has been made. What would the stakes be then? To what, like, stop the Kremlings from reaching the surface and wreaking havoc? I don't know. It's probably more likely, in my opinion, that there's, like, a midway point in this game where, yeah, the script is flipped, but then you're continuing to work your way towards the core to, like, either stop characters from making their wish, or, you know, something along those lines. Holy cow, Land Clipper, $20 super chat, thank you, my friend. What if the wish thing is a fake story made up by K. Rool to entice people to come find him, so he can be free from whatever prison he's been trapped in all this time, and DK and Pauline have to team up with Void Co. to stop him. I love a good heroes teaming up with the villain's quest to stop the greater evil. I like that idea. Especially because, like, you know, I am leaning into the idea that, like, Grumpy Kong and Poppy Kong, at the very least, are probably gonna, like, realize that they've been swindled. That's just kind of my suspicion, my little sneaking suspicion about this game. But again, it's all guesswork. I don't know. Can I just say again that it is so much fun that we get to, we get to get on here and ramble about this. Like, we get to theorize about a new Donkey Kong game. I know, I'm beating a dead horse. I already mentioned it and went on about it earlier, but I don't know. It's still like a pinch me, I gotta be dreaming kind of thing to me, you know? Like, I'm just saying. The amount of betrayals I could profit off of that occur in Nintendo games. Yeah, I mean, you got a point. I do fully believe, though, that there is going to be some sort of twists. At least one more twist, but potentially multiple twists and turns that this game takes. And the only reason I think that, well, maybe not the only reason, but one of the reasons I think that is just because of the way that the game has been marketed so far. With Pauline, they wanted us to think it was Oddrock. I mean, they had printed marketing material. I can go into my local Walmart right now, and there's a Donkey Kong, like, cardboard cutout thing hanging on one of their shelves, and it has Oddrock printed on it, you know? They really wanted to keep this under wraps. They really messed up. They really fucked up the Nintendo of Korea. And, yeah. It was supposed to be a big twist, is what I'm getting at. So I think there's probably some more funny twists and turns, and Void Co. and Void Kong are definitely among that. I'm just saying. Won't be upset if it ain't true, but I think I'm sold on the idea of the second half of the game going past the core back to the surface to DK Island. That would be cool. That would be pretty cool. I'm not totally on board with that, only because, and granted, this is also, you know, iffy speculation, but just based on the map of the game that we've seen so far, some people have pointed out that, like, you can maybe make out what is DK Island on the map, and, you know, it's more, like, on the surface, closer to where you start digging down. So, you probably wouldn't dig around to the other side to DK Island, is what I'm getting at. But maybe you end up in New Donk City. Maybe you dig your way up into New Donk. Maybe that's where the game ends. I don't know. That would be something, wouldn't it? What a twist that would be. You know, you break through the final layer and then, holy shit, wait a minute. I recognize this place. Oh my god! It's New Donk City! Gnarly Knave! Hey, thank you. Thank you for the $5 super chat, my friend. I think Nintendo is hiding the fact that Pauline is actually Pauline Jr. It makes sense from both DK and Mario's standpoint. That's my little funny theory that I'm hoping turns out to be true as well. That's the one that I want to see become a reality. I don't know whether that's going to be the case, but I think that there's a lot of, like, just, I don't know, there's a lot of wholesome potential there for that to be the thing that happens. Whether or not it does, I don't know. It's a toss-up. Yeah, the island is even shaped like his head again. I missed that so much. I know, me too. Like, look, man, let me tell you guys, I love Retro Studios Donkey Kong games. They are fantastic, but they missed a lot of what I loved about Rare's Donkey Kong games. Now, I love the retro games for, you know, their own take on the series too. Like, as platformers from a gameplay perspective, immaculate. Some of the best money can buy. But they didn't quite hit the same notes as far as, like, world building and structure that the old games did. I mean, they even wiped out DK's head island thing, you know. That was like a staple in the country days, and even DK64. So I hope that they are bringing that back. And I hope that the speculation that we could end up getting like a recreation of DK Island is sort of like an area to explore at the very end of the game. I hope that comes to pass, because that would just be so cool. That would be so cool. Just watched a vid that argues that perhaps Nintendo is phasing out the idea that Cranky is the OG Donkey Kong. I'll have to check that out. I'm still not ready to buy into that idea yet, just because we have Cranky referencing Mario as his rival in this game, you know what I mean? So I just don't think they're gonna go that direction. I'll believe it when I see it, is how I'll put that. But I'm not ready to give in to that idea just yet. I don't know. Not quite there. Not quite there. I don't know. Oh. Cats are up to no good from the sounds of it out in the living room. Dang cats. That's what they say, but mention Mario was never referenced by name. The video is someone called The Game Cubicle. Okay, I'll have to check that out. I'll definitely have to check that out then. And that is a fair fact, or a fair point, you know, as well. He's not referenced by name. I've also seen the theory and the idea that maybe they're sort of retconning things where, like, Jumpman is actually Mario's dad or something like that. And then Mario has no relation to it. I think somebody even brought it up here in chat earlier. We kind of touched on it a little bit. Tune work. $1 super chat. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Mr. Toonwork. Or I don't know if you're a Mr. Mrs. I don't know. Mrs. Toonwork? We'll just call you Toonwork. How about that? Thank you. What if it's like the Mario movie in which it was some generic Yeti that abducted Pauline? Hey, you know, you never know. Usually it's strange that Pauline's OG look was never referenced. I mean, what do you mean? What do you mean, like, just Kid Pauline? Because, I mean, she definitely looks like a Kid Pauline from the Pauline that we know. So, I don't know. By the way, are you going to too many games this year? Yeah, actually, I guess. I guess I'll just bring that up while I'm here. I think I'm going. I'm going to go on Saturday. So if any of you guys are going to be there, don't be afraid to walk up to the monkey-looking guy. I'll probably be wearing my green Donkey Kong button-up. That's my game plan. I'll be there with my brother. So don't be afraid to walk up and say, hi. I'll probably be kind of awkward. I'll be like, hi. How are you? Are you having fun? Me too. I don't know how long I'll be there. I was there last year, and I walked around for like an hour, and then I left. So, I don't want to like blow money on a bunch of shit. So, I kind of just walk around. I'll look for you, but it's a pretty big convention. Yeah, it is. It definitely is. In recent years, especially, they've really expanded the size of the like building. Like they've opened up into all the different parts of the building. Whew. Oh, Pauline from the OG Donkey Kong looks nothing like modern Pauline. Yeah, I see what you're saying. True. But Jumpman also doesn't really look like Mario. I mean, even Donkey Kong doesn't look like Donkey Kong. In, like, the old promotional art. I don't know if we can necessarily go based off of that. We'll do the secret burp code. Don't walk up to me and burp. And I won't do that to you, either. I won't, If you walk up to me and burp, I'll probably just be like, dude, come on, man. Come on, man. I'm just trying to enjoy my day. You met me the year before last, but your buddy ran in last year while you were in line for something. Oh, that's cool. Okay. I might recognize you if I see you. I don't know. I'm not good with faces. But that's cool. That's cool that we met up. Yeah, there were a couple of guys. I don't know, maybe it was your friend who... There was a group of people. I was walking past this one line. I don't know what they were in line for. And all of a sudden, I start hearing people calling my name, Uncle Al! I was, like, caught off guard. I wasn't expecting people to even know me. I was like, what? I'm looking around, dazed and confused. It's like that Mr. Krabs meme where, you know, he's like, huh, what? And then, yeah, got pictures. That was cool. That was fun. You threw bananas at me and yelled like a gibbon. Super cool experience. I'll do it again. I'll fucking do it again. Oh, man. You would love to see a vine swinging section. Dude, okay, see, yeah. So let me touch on that. While we're here. I'm so in love with the fact that they are doing these, like, retro, like, side-scrolling levels that pull directly from the country games. So yeah, I'm with you there too. I would love to see like some vine swinging or something like that in one of those. But I'm so excited to see what else they're gonna bring to the table with those 2D sections. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. Especially for the potential for music arrangements. Can you imagine? I can't wait to hear it, please. Bramble Blast. Give me Sticker Bush Symphony. I figured out that that's what it's called, by the way. People got on my ass for that. I was calling it Sticker Brush Symphony. Apparently I'm not the only one who thought it was that, but apparently that's not the case. I don't know what it is with these Donkey Kong games and getting the names mixed up. It's like people calling it, Diddy Kong's Quest. And it's like, no, it's Diddy's Kong Quest. Yeah. Forest Interlude! Dude, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, man. I would love it. I bring this one up a lot, but Hothead Hop? Hothead Bop? I don't know, one of those. The lava level from Donkey Kong Country 2, I would love to hear that come back. Mining Melancholy. Ho! Ho! The swamp level, whatever the fuck it's called from Donkey Kong Country 2, I forget. I keep talking about Donkey Kong Country just 1 and 2. I hope Donkey Kong Country 3 gets some love here too. Give us like a throwback level or two from that as well. I feel like Donkey Kong Country 3 is weirdly like the black sheep of the series for some reason. Don't know why. It's a good game. But, you know, I love it too. I love it just as much as the first 2 games. I probably know the least about it compared to the other ones. I've played through it many times, but, you know. Give us Ellie the elephant. There we go. You guys are mentioning about an elephant layer in this game. Let's get Ellie. Let's get Ellie in there. Yeah, Jungle Hijinks, Island Swing. I feel like we've gotten that, like, there's like at least 2 arrangements for that in this game. I'm hoping that, like, I think they confirmed there's like over 100 something soundtracks for this game. 110 like music tracks or something crazy like that. Excuse me. So hopefully a lot of those are arrangements of old tracks too. Look, man, I don't need my games to be overstuffed with nostalgia. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, but this being the first Donkey Kong game in 11 years, I just want to be assured that, you know, it's in the right hands and that they're gonna allow the old things to coexist with the new. So if we get a bunch of arrangements of old stuff, you won't hear me complaining. You'll hear me weeping, because I'll be like, oh, it's so good. Iblis! Thank you. $5 super chat. Yeah, I think they're retconning Mario and Pauline as Jumpman and Lady. I think Pauline's parents will be a blonde woman and Carpenter Man in red. That is going to be interesting to see. I'm definitely going to be curious. But I guess if that ends up being the case, I don't know. It's a real head scratcher because then, like, okay, so then if you figure that Pauline in this game grows up to be the Pauline that we know in Odyssey, right? We can assume that she's got to be in at least her 20s, somewhere in there. I don't know if there's an age minimum that you have to be to become a mayor of a city, but probably somewhere in her 20s, which would make all of the Donkey Kong characters at least, like, 10, maybe more years older than they are in Bonanza by that point. I don't know. I just can't imagine a middle-aged Diddy Kong and Cranky being even older and decrepit. He's already a pretty old stinker at this point in Bonanza. I don't know. I don't know. It's a real head-scratcher, though. But again, isn't it kind of crazy? Isn't it crazy and cool that we get to even, like, have that discussion? That we're sitting here wondering? Have you heard about the secret Croc Elder thoughts? Well, we had talked about the idea of K. Lumsey from DK64 maybe sitting his big fat ass in the Croc chair or something like that. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. I saw people talking about, like, Nintendo Land uploaded a video and mentioned about, like, my theory in it. Maybe he added onto it or something else, or found something that, I don't know, was related from somebody else. I don't know. I have no idea. Drop it in the chat. I'll just read it, and we'll see what the Croc Elder theory thoughts is or are, you know. Thought about the possibility that DK in this game is like 17 maybe, and just looks fully grown because monkey. I guess that's a possibility. I have seen that theory too, because, like, you know, redesigning him, he might even look a little bit younger, you know, compared to what we've known before. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm still not quite fully there with that idea. Hiya, Brandon. Brandtendo. Guys, Brandon's here. He's the guy who does my thumbnail art and stuff. I saw somebody here asking about it earlier. I don't know if they're still here, but yeah, if you're looking for an artist to do some good art stuffs for you, there he is. Brando himself. Nintendo Land posted the Croc Elder theory. Okay. I'll have to check that out. I've been interested in checking out that video. I saw that earlier show up in my recommended, so I'll take a peek at it. Gnarly Knave! Another $5 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Guys, we only have 2 more super chats to go until we hit that. 1 more super chat to go until we hit that goal. There's another one that just popped up. So you guys are fucking awesome today. I seriously can't thank you guys enough for helping support the stream. I've been loving this lately, getting out here and just getting on stream and I almost said rapping and rapping with you guys. I don't rap. No good at rap. I can rhyme. I can rhyme the shit out of stuff. But yeah, it's been fun. Anyway, let me read these super chats. What if the final boss is Kong Bonanza K. Rool versus Kremling Bonanza DK? Dude. Okay. Yeah, I didn't bring that up. I actually forgot about it. The same thought had crossed my mind too. We're on the same wavelength. That would be so cool. That would be so amazing. I'm just saying. That would be like some mind-blowing shit right there. Like, ho, 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 ho. Yeah, it'd be peak. It'd be peak as fuck. I'm just saying. That would be so cool. Oh, okay. Sorry, you got me excited thinking about that. Jotaku, $10 super chat. Thank you. I got 3 hunches. 1, it's a retcon prequel. That's certainly one of the possibilities we talked about for sure. 2, Pauline was changed into a kid via a cursor magic. Yep, that's another one. And 3, it's revealed at the end she's actually Pauline Jr. I'm definitely on board. Like, I want it to be Pauline Jr. Excuse me. In terms of the timeline, not again. I know, Nintendo timelines. You shouldn't even worry about them. But like, I'm just saying, in terms of sake of simplicity, in terms of like explanations about what is going on here, I just feel like that's the easiest one. And it would make for just a fun, wholesome little extra twist, potentially, at the very end of the game. You find out that, like, oh, it's not Pauline, it's Pauline Jr., it's Pauline's daughter. How cool is that, you know? I just love the idea of that. They said, Quiet Fennec. I'm sorry, I probably butchered that so bad. I feel like the Kong's redemption thing is so engraved in Bonanza that I feel like I can't see it any other way than it being a surprise sequel. I really, yeah. So we're on the same wavelength there. I feel like that would just be such a fun way to go about it. It would be just such a fun angle to take with this game to just make it like a Kong redemption story. I just love the idea of that. Like, there's like nothing else like it in Nintendo history either, you know? Like, this would be such a crazy, crazy scenario to see unfold if that's what's going on with this game. And it fits. It works. This game is gonna touch my soul, man. This game is gonna, oh man. Oh. Jotaku, another $5. Thank you. Regardless of what happens, the game still looks hype. Bet it will be a Game of the Year nominee. I'm with you. I'm totally with you. That's one thing I should emphasize too. I feel like I have to emphasize it because, like, people like to jump on my ass about all this theorizing that I'm doing and saying, like, dude, can't you just be fucking happy that you that you're getting a new Donkey Kong game? Why do you gotta be asking all these questions? Just play it and enjoy it. It's like, well, theorizing is like half the fun. I'm excited for the game, no matter what. I think it looks fucking awesome. But, you know, just talking about the game, theorizing about it, it's like half the fun in the lead up to a new game. And it's been 11 years since we got a new Donkey Kong game. Why wouldn't I get out here and yap about it and you know, talk about the things that I'd like to see and characters that I think would be really cool to show up? I don't know. I'm just saying, you know. But obviously, very clearly, I'm not the only one who's wanting to see characters like the Kremlings and King K. Rool show up again because, you know, it's like everywhere on the internet right now. Granted, maybe I'm not giving myself enough credit there because a lot of the theories and ideas that are being talked about online, I'm kind of a little bit of the origin point for a lot of these that I'm seeing a lot of these channels and people and posts talking about. Me and my DK crew, I have to give them credit too. Let me just say, Kong Compendium, Skips, Don't Mind Joe, Professor Chops from Family Boards. We're all a bunch of knuckleheads. We're all talking about Donkey Kong and you know, all kinds of wacky theories. But it's just kind of crazy that, like, not only is all this happening, but I'm like, I don't know, I'm kind of at the forefront of talking about this shit online too. It's maybe a little bit scary because if some of this stuff doesn't come to pass, I don't know, I might get some blowback for getting people excited for King K. Rool just to have him not be in the game. But, you know, I'm not trying to convince people that, like, it's gonna happen no matter what. It's just supposed to be fun. It's just supposed to be fun theorizing, you know? That's all it is. Theorizing is rampant right now because everyone is excited for the game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know? And, like, you know, it's the second major first-party title coming to the Switch 2. It's the first major first-party game that's a single-player adventure game coming to the Switch 2. Of course people are excited for it and talking about it. And it looks just so ambitious and awesome, too. So, of course, you know. But it is just kind of crazy to be one of the voices that people are tuning into for this game. It's surreal. In like a really cool kind of way. It's like a dream come true. I get to talk about Donkey Kong and people want to hear what I have to say about it. So, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. Sorry to keep, like, stroking you guys off. I appreciate it. I love it. Not a prequel! Not a prequel! That means K. Rool's back! Yeah, of course! Kirby God 64 Ultra. That's my whole entire angle here. That's what I'm getting at. Uncle Al, you're really entertaining. Thank you, games. I appreciate that. That was very nice. Stinker Kong. That's Void Kong, actually. That's his thing. Uh-oh. I just rubbed my contact and it got all messed up. I was trying to, like, rub my eye. Okay. It fell back into place. We're good. You guys ever have that happen? I wear contacts because I'm a blind motherfucker. You just scratch your eye the wrong way and it goes, whoop! Rubbed his contact. Yeah. Yeah. Why are people thinking it's a prequel? Just Kid Pauline. It's a big question mark on the whole thing. Al, this waiting is driving me crazy. I know. Me too, dude. I'm telling you. But, like, what? Wait. Isn't it, like, this Thursday? Okay, so Thursday, from Thursday, 1, 2. We're 3 weeks away as of this coming Thursday. So, it'll be here in the blink of an eye. It's definitely driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts too. But it'll be here before we know it. I can't wait to get on here and stream it with you guys. Like, that's going to be so much fun to experience that with you guys. I can't freaking wait. You know, in a way, I am kind of excited that, well, maybe not excited, But I think maybe it's kind of a blessing in disguise that there isn't any locations near me, as far as I'm aware, that have that Donkey Kong demo. Excuse me. Because then I just get to play it here in its purest form, you know, with the first impressions of it. You know, I get to just... yeah, pretty much that. You can't wait to no-life this game. I know, I'm right there with you. I'm fully ready to make this game my whole personality for like a month. Well, I mean, it's kind of already been for the last, like, what, 2 months? 2 or 3? However long it's been. So, it's just gonna... I'm just gonna become Donkey Kong more than I already have. Whew. I'm just yapping away. Yap, yap, yap. I'm, like, getting lightheaded. Let me sip some water. Let me sip a little water. With as much hype as there is for Bonanza, at least we'll probably never have to wait 11 years for another DK game again. I really hope you're right about that. And I agree with the sentiment, too, that, like, it does feel like, okay, I mean, just straight up, there's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. This game is gonna be the most ambitious Donkey Kong game. Like, I don't think anybody would refute that claim, you know? It's a huge thing. And I don't think Nintendo would put this level of, like, investment into it if they were just gonna dump Donkey Kong again for another 11 years. I think they have a game plan. There's gonna be more Donkey Kong games on the way. not time stamping burps tomorrow. Taking the day off. That's okay, Ghost Ronin. I appreciate you. Yeah, I need to know if he's in the game, says Ale. I know, I'm with you. I'm with you. I really am. It's been driving me nuts. My DK crew will tell you, I've just been flip-flopping. I'm all over the place. It's like a part of me really wants to, like, so deeply wants to believe that that he's in this game, but there's also, like, this nagging part of my brain that it's not gonna let me believe it until I see it, you know? That's pretty much where I'm at. Gnarly Knave! Another $5 super chat. Thank you. Thank you so much. The game also better end with Pauline performing a concert in DK Island. And you get to see all the Kongs, including guys like Lanky and Swanky. I love that idea. I love it. I love, love, love it. That would be so cool. That would be an awesome way to bring in the other Kongs, too. Have that, just like, you know, if they're not going to be a part of the adventure, if they're not going to be a part of the story, the narrative, whatever, let them come in at the very end. Let them come in and have at least a little bit of a cameo appearance at the very end of the game. Kind of like Yoshi did at the end of Odyssey, except we get all the Kongs. All of them, even the ones you don't remember. That's it, that's it. If he's not there, we've been trolled hard with the Crocoids BS. I know, yeah. I've had the same thought that, like, man, it would feel like a pretty big middle finger if we got these Crocoids and they're not actually, like, tying into anything or leading to anything. I feel like Nintendo has to know, like, come on, you know. Real talk, Nintendo teasing Kremlings and other old DK stuff is such good marketing because it's gotten the fan base talking more than ever. I know, I'm with you. Yeah, like, honestly, I know, seriously. The marketing guy, whoever's in charge of marketing this game at Nintendo, he's probably, like, demanding a raise right now. He's like, you see this shit? You see this shit? Now, just imagine if they do, like, just a third trailer, right? A third trailer, like a week, maybe 2 weeks before the game releases. And, you know, they don't really show off a whole lot of new. It's just kind of another trailer to get people excited. But then, at the end of the trailer, they tease. They give us our first tease. Our real tease of King K. Rool. That's it. That's it then. That's just totally it. The floodgates are wide open at that point. People are going to go insane. It would be ravenous, rabid craziness. Boy, I better put down this copium. I think it's starting to make me lose my mind a little bit here. Okay, all right. Give me one sec. I'm gonna put this on for 15 minutes. Boom. Just one more little chat goal. 5 chats. It doesn't have to be anything. Like I said, don't even feel pressured to try to hit this goal. I appreciate you guys. We hit 2 crazy chat goal things today. But I'm just thinking, like, I'm planning to chat here for maybe about another 20 minutes or so. 20, 25 minutes. I figured, fuck it. Let's just throw another one out there. But yeah, you know... I'm just saying, like, it would be the craziest thing ever if they actually did give us a glimpse or a tease or something like that of the Kremlings in just, like, the final week or 2 stretch before Bonanza. If they're in the game! If they're not in the game, then Nintendo is pulling a fast one on us. They're saying, fuck you. They're putting the middle fingers up to the Kremlings. They're like, look, they're dead. Get over it. I hope that's not what's going on here for this game. That would be disappointing. It would be sad. But I kind of don't think it is. Like, deep down, I want to believe that, no, that's not what they're doing. They're not trying to kill the Kremlings and King K. Rool. Apparently the Kremlings are for another game, but that never came to be. Yeah. Yep. They were repurposed for Donkey Kong Country because of a game that Rare was working on that, yeah, just didn't materialize. I forget what the name of it was. I don't even know if it had a name. It might have, but I don't know. So yeah, we'll go for about, let's say, I'll go 20 more minutes. Because that'll put us at 3 hours on the dot. We'll just talk. We'll do some more yapping for about 20 more minutes. So, I think we've touched upon pretty much like all the Pauline theories and ideas. Like what could be going on there. Just curious, like is there anything out there that we haven't discussed yet that any of you guys have in mind? You know? Any other kooky little Pauline ideas? Johnny Blastoff, yeah, I think that might have been what it was. Yeah, I think it was literally called like Johnny Blastoff and the Kremling Armada or something like that. I might be making that up, but that sounds right. Yeah, that's it. Yep. Okay, I thought so. Message retracted. Oh no. Johnny Blastoff. Johnny Quasar. That's like Jimmy Neutron, I think. That was where Jimmy Neutron started. We're gonna get a very emotional scene of Pauline and DK saying goodbye. Dude, I know, man. Like, I'm bracing for it. At the end of that direct, like, the song that she's singing, the little conversations she's having with DK being like, I have this dream of singing. I have this dream. I want to become a singer. And Donkey Kong, only you can help me. You can help me become the greatest singer in the world. And I was like, this monkey game is going to make me cry. And so, yeah, I could totally imagine there being like a big emotional parting at the end of this game. And just getting emotional in it. Yeah, man, how crazy is that? Donkey Kong, a goddamn Donkey Kong game it's going to make me very sad. But it's like a happy sadness, you know. It's like, oh, she's home again. Oh, I just hope that the voice acting sells it. Because yeah, I don't know. It's a little iffy so far. I'm just throwing it out there. Just based on what we've heard so far, I don't know. It might be all right. I think it'll be like serviceable, but like maybe not amazing. I don't know. Julia Hotel, Dark Lord of the Sock Puppets. Thank you for the $5 super chat. If you had to pick one tertiary Kong, swanky, tiny, lanky, candy kitty, who would you want to see make a cameo? I'm very heavily biased towards Swanky, because I love his theme from the bonus room of Donkey Kong Country 2. I love it. So that's who I want to see. Swanky. And I hope he brings his bonus Bonanza theme with him. I'm not counting on it, but that'd be cool. Iblis Azazel, another $5 super chat. Thank you. You've been so very generous today. I appreciate you. Theories aside, I'll absolutely riot if young Pauline isn't added to Mario Kart World. Yeah, I could totally see her being added like that. That would make sense. I could see it being like Pauline or Pauline Jr. Let's just say, yeah, let's just put it that way. Young Pauline, like you said. Young Pauline, I could see them adding her to Mario Kart World and like maybe like Diddy Kong. I don't know about Funky. I would love to see Funky, but we haven't even seen Funky in Bonanza yet, so I don't know what's going on with Funky. He could still be there for all we know. You know, they didn't put a spotlight on Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong. Like, we got like a snippet of them. Maybe like, I don't know, 4 seconds total worth of footage of Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong in this game. So, who knows? Maybe there is more than meets the eye. More that we haven't seen yet. Boom, 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 boom. Young Pauline is adorable. My theory about Pauline Mini is that Pauline has the last name Pauline, and Kid Pauline has the first and last name Pauline, like Mario, and Luigi Mario. Pauline. Hey, I don't know. I guess you never know. There is a precedent for it in this series, so... Mario! I think that was only like a cartoon thing, though, wasn't it? I don't know. I could be making that up. Mario. Hey, Mario! Hey! Let's get some spaghetti, Mario! Luigi! I don't got no spaghetti. There ain't no spaghetti here. Not for you. Not today. No, Miyamoto confirmed it. Oh. Well. Okay. Maybe that is what it is. I don't know. I don't know why, but I would like another arcade-style Donkey Kong game. I think it would be really cool to get, like... Yeah, something kind of like that. I guess they kind of did, you know. Mario versus Donkey Kong, they remade it. That's pretty much, like, the style, in a way. It builds off of that. DK94 would be a really good blueprint if they wanted to do another game kind of like that. Because DK94 is a goddamn good game. That's a really good one. Mario vs. DK is more so puzzle, though. Yeah, but I mean, it kind of builds off of that, though. Otherwise, it's just like platforming. I don't know. DK versus K. Rool. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, that was a banger. I'm assuming we're talking about DK94. And in which case, oh, yeah. That one's a banger. It's a banger, all right. What if Funky is a playable DLC character? Purchase Funky mode. I'm here for it. I'll take it. Imagine that. You get to play through the whole game as Funky Kong. Or even better, Cranky Kong in his prime. There we go. That would be a real twist. Do you think Donkey Kong is going to sing during the final boss? And get the guy from the TV for a singing voice? You guys have no idea how on board I would be for them to bring that cast into this somehow and have them involved with singing. I'm so here for it. Especially if they bring, like, Benjamin Campbell in to reprise his role as K. Rool, and he has, like, a big, like, just stupidly over-the-top song number for this game. That's some real cope, you know? But, no, I'm not even coping for it. I'm just saying, it would be the coolest shit ever. I want to see K. Rool singing. Yeah, you guys doing tip the scale. You know, I don't know if I should be saying this or not. I don't know if I should be saying this part, but I have heard that, like, supposedly people at Illumination have seen Return to Crocodile Isle. So, hey, who knows? You never know. Rumors of a DK movie. Maybe they'll take a page from good old Return to Crocodile Isle. We need answers. Let's kidnap Miyamoto. You know, I like that idea. Let's do that. This is the planning on how we're going to kidnap Miyamoto stream. That's not good. That's not a good thing to say. That's a joke, internet. Ha 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 ha. Ho 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 ho. FBI, who might be listening to this, we're not going to kidnap that guy. He's just a cool guy. Keep Miyamoto busy with the movies. Yeah, that's what Dave says. Yeah, maybe we should just keep it there. All right, XL Hedge, $5 super chat. Watch, the final battle will be a big Bonanza battle with DK and K. Rool, while Pauline is having a song battle with K. Rool voiced by Benedict Campbell. Yeah, there we go. Dude, I love that. I love that idea. Yeah, okay, so there it is. We're gonna merge all the ideas into one here. It's Kremling Bonanza Donkey Kong versus Kong Bonanza King K. Rool, while King K. Rool is singing, having a full-on rap battle against Pauline. There we go. Guys, we've cracked it. We know exactly how this game is going to play out. We've cracked the code together as a DK crew. Is it weird that I'm not coping for K. Rool's return? Honestly, I salute you for that, Ghost Ronin. I don't like you're probably having a less anxious time waiting for this game than people like me, who is just people like me who are just like chomping at the bit for King K. Rool to show up in this damn game. So, good for you, my friend. Oh, sweet. Another one from Iblis Azazel. Thank you. Thank you for the $5 super chat. You're so... Here, I'm giving you a heart. I'll give XL Hedge a heart, too, because you guys are right there on my screen. I'll just throw them out there. You've been so generous today. Actually, on the topic of Mario characters that need to come back, did you know Rosalina has a little brother that we've never met? I was not aware of this. It's probably in, like, I'm guessing, like, the story time Rosalina thing or something, right? Like the storybook. I'm assuming. I'll have to look into that eventually. Wasn't really aware of that. Caleb Buckner. Nintendo Land gave you a well-deserved shout-out in the Elder Croc video. I really like the Elder Croc idea. K. Rool's coming back. I'll have to check that out. Excuse me. Sorry for all the burps. I'm always doing that on stream, but I can't help it. I get yapping, and I don't know why. It makes me gassy. It makes me burp. But, yeah, I definitely got to check out that Nintendo Land video. That's pretty cool. I think, like, there were, like, a couple of videos the last couple of months that I've gotten mentions and shout-outs from him in. So that's pretty cool. So we're 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5, and there's 1 minute left. I wasn't going to try to push for it, but hey, you know, hey, we're almost there. Why not? Just thinking the only person from the show to bring back has to be Ben Campbell. His voice for K. Rool is like Keith David for Spawn or Kevin Conroy for Batman. It just fits. I know, I'm totally with you. I think that would be the coolest thing ever to have happen. It's Ben Campbell Like, I don't know what it is. Like, yeah, it's just such a perfect voice for K. Rool, you know? And I feel like that's been solidified just a little bit more in sort of like the online fandom space with Return to Crocodile Isle. Like, now it's just like, okay, yeah, that's the definitive voice right there. That's K. Rool. That's him. Eh, ho, ho, hey, woo! Hey, we did it! KB, thank you! Thank you, my friend. I'm throwing hearts at both of you. I see both of you. Thank you. Sterling Jarvis needs to return for DK's singing. I don't know. Oh, I guess, yeah, okay, that's right. I did know that like, different guy handled the singing. Yeah, let's get it, yeah. I'll take that. Thank you, my friend. And Juliet Hotel, Dark Lord of the Sock Puppets, $2 super chat. Thank you. Meeting the super chat goal for Croc Watch, baby. Thank you. Yeah, you know what? We'll take that. It was a double finish at the finish line. That's what it was. I appreciate you, fellas. This has been fun. It's been fun just getting out here, yapping some more about some Donkey Kong. I could yap about Donkey Kong for hours. Over the course of the next few days, I'm thinking for the rest of the week, I'm probably going to be back. What was today? Tuesday? So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Probably just 3 in a row is what I'm thinking for streams. That's a lot. That's a lot more than I usually do. But there's a lot that I want to accomplish. You know, I still got to play through Donkey Kong Country 3. I've been wanting to do some more Mario Kart with viewers, with you guys. So, I'll definitely squeeze that in one of these days. I've had to continuously push it back just because I've had so much to work on, which is also awesome. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll try to go for the next couple days streaming. We'll see how it works out. I don't know 100% just yet, but yeah, I definitely gotta, at the very bare minimum, get through Donkey Kong Country 3 before Bonanza releases. I want to make sure I accomplish finishing the Rare Trilogy. It would feel like sacrilege if I didn't at this point. I've already done 2 of them. What Bonanza forms are you hoping will take the last 2 slots on the skill tree? We were talking about this a little bit earlier. I think like a Kremling Bonanza makes sense. But man, I have no idea like otherwise what to do. I saw a really fun concept for like a Squitter Spider Bonanza that I loved the design of. So I think that would be cool. Let us shoot webs and sling rocks around like Spider-Man. Yeah, let us do that. Let us literally swing around like Spider-Man. Oh, man. Well, let us do that. That's what I want. Chat is kind of hard to read on stream. Yeah, you know, I probably should just, like, get an actual chat box to put the chat into for these streams. That would probably be a good way to go about things, wouldn't you say? So I'll keep that in mind. You've been binging my content and subscribed recently. The funny thing is, I didn't get spoiled on Pauline. That made the direct magical for me. Wow, that's crazy, because I talk about that in the videos too. So kudos to you for dodging that. And hey, thanks for subscribing. Binging, that's awesome. Plumber Bonanza, and it's just Mario Odyssey 2. Yeah. Okay, I'll leave you guys with a little cliffhanger because I have a theory about Mario and what his next 3D outing is gonna look like. I won't get super into specifics, but I'll say this. And this probably isn't that big of a revelation for anybody. But I'm suspecting it's probably going to be an open world game. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I'll leave it there. I thought about saying more, but you know what? Nah, we'll leave it there. We'll keep it boring. It's an open world game. That's what it's gonna be. The next Mario. I'll extrapolate on that a little bit. Okay. Because like I do think Bowser's Fury was sort of like a sampler of what we can expect for the next Mario game. So I'm just thinking that probably makes sense. And then having Bonanza as kind of like the next sort of like 3D Mario game that we would have normally gotten, you know what I mean? That kind of fills that sort of void. And then the next 3D Mario takes it a step further and goes even bigger and more ambitious with like an open world kind of thing. That's what I'm thinking. So, but I have a lot more to it than that I'm going to save for a fun video someday. Not sure when I'm going to do it yet. I'll probably wait until Bonanza's out, and then sometime after that, maybe in the fall, I'll work on that video. Because that's, I think if I can execute the video the way I'm imagining it, excuse me, that's going to be a really fun one. That'll make for a very fun video. Okay. Well, ladies, gentlemen, we're almost at that 3-hour mark. And that's where I think I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream for today. I just want to thank you guys for hanging out and listening to me yap, chatting with you guys about all these fun Donkey Kong Bonanza theories. It's always such a blast to get out here and talk, but it's also just really cool that we get to talk about a new Donkey Kong game. I feel like I've repeated myself with that specific phrase, that specific saying so many damn times. I'm always talking about how cool it is that we get to talk about Donkey Kong, but what can I say? It's just a cool time. It's a cool time to be alive. So, all right. I think that's all I got for today. Before I tap out, for those of you guys who are going to be interested and showing up for the remainder of my streams this week, what would you want to see first? Do you want to see me tackle Donkey Kong Country, or Donkey Kong Country 3, or jump into some Mario Kart World tomorrow? Or maybe we can shake it up. I can stream Donkey Kong Country 3 tomorrow, then the next day do Mario Kart World, and then finish up Donkey Kong Country 3 the next day after that, shake it up. What's more exciting to me? I can go either way. I want to hear what you guys got to say. KB says, ooh, that could work. I'm seeing some shake it ups. Bunch of shake it ups. So, okay. Yeah, we'll shake it up. We'll do Donkey Kong Country 3 tomorrow, Mario Kart World on Thursday, and then we'll try to finish Donkey Kong Country 3 on Friday. Does that sound good? Does that sound like a plan to everybody? I'll probably start in the evening time, like around the same time I did today, like 5 or 6 p.m. Eastern time. 1v1 Rust. Well, that one's not on the cards for this week. Maybe some other time. George Bush did COVID-19. Things I never thought I'd say on my stream for 500, Steve. Okay, alright. I could yap all night. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow. I appreciate you. Thanks for all the super chats, man. We hit that goal 3 different times. You guys are seriously incredible. Thank you so much. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I'm repeating myself. Bye-bye.